Go for it.
This week's episode of the realest podcast ever is sponsored by Dope Shows and the first ever Dope Fest this Saturday, July 6th, live from the Man Music Center, 5201 Parkside Avenue in West Philadelphia, right in the heart of Fairmount Park. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com. There's also Ultra VIP tickets available as well. If you contact me directly at plus.ceo on Instagram, or you can contact the Dope Shows team _dope_shows on Instagram for the custom VIP experience tickets as well, with catered food, video game tent, and a live music experience unlike anything else you're going to get in Philadelphia this summer. This Saturday, July 6th, Dope Shows presents the first ever Dope Fest live from the Man Music Center in Fairmount Park. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com.
TRPE. The realest podcast ever, Yeah. Two brothers bringing thinking on a second level. Music, sports, fashion, politics, and the streets. The best 2 hours out of every week. YDN, dinosaurs, and YBODs. Real talk every time, this is what you need. We just out here popping shit. It's your boy C. Diddy and Matt makes me sick. TRPE, go. TRPE, go. They know. The realest podcast ever. The realest podcast ever.
Gem for me.
Oh, man. You know it's a good Sunday when you haven't been somewhere for a long time. We'll say, what's the Drake line? When the last time you did something for the first time? This is it for me. It's been about 6 weeks since the last realest podcast ever. This your boy C. Diddy. I got some special guests in the studio with me. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But starting off, we got some things to address. Like, we haven't had a show, like I said, in about 6 weeks. I'm good. How are y'all? Y'all can't talk to me. I can talk to y'all. But basically, you know, we've had a little growing pains with the show, whatever like that, last couple weeks or whatever like that. And then, you know, there's a big milestone event coming up in Philly, which is part of the reason why I'm here today. It's actually coming up next week. It's going to be the Dope Fest, powered by Dope Shows. And I had to make sure that no matter what else was going on in my life, I had to make sure that I got here in the studio at the very minimum, even if it was for 30 minutes, to talk about the Dope Fest, because it's an amazing thing that the team from Dope Shows is doing, as far as, you know, taking their company and elevating it to the next level, and then also making TRPE a part of it, and just making us a part of everything they do in one way or another, whether it be advertising, coming on the show, exclusives as far as, you know, concert announcements, stuff like that. So I actually absolutely had to pay that forward. But in case y'all haven't noticed yet, there's only one voice coming through the microphone. Why is that? The reason is my co-host Matt, he's actually on administrative leave right now. Matt's got some like family stuff and some personal things that he's dealing with right now. So he's just literally, like, we had a big talk earlier in the week. He's just totally out of podcast mode. Like, you know, I tried to like goad him. I tried to, you know, send him heartfelt messages from people, letters, all type of stuff. And he just basically let me know, like, yo, bro, like, I'm just on some other stuff right now. I'm not really in podcast mode. You know, maybe in a couple weeks he might be in a different, you know, in a different mind state or whatever like that. But as of right now, that's just kind of what it is. But I wouldn't be the smart guy that I am if I was to come here and just talk to y'all open-ended for 2 hours by myself. So I do have some special guests in the studio, which I alluded to on social media. My first guest, he's a friend to the show, actually family to the show. This is my brother right here. You know, he's been on here, you know, probably more times than any other special guest, and he's here today. Announce yourself to the people.
What's up, y'all? Pastor Carl Day, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm back with my boy, my brother, you know, ready to kick it tonight.
So what's new with you, good brother?
Oh, man, you know, same old same, man, just doing the work. You know, we ready to kick a program off, start July 8th. Cast Offs to Conquerors, doing life on life mentoring. Got brothers from the hood working with the youngins from the hood. 8-week program, you know, sending kids away for a week, getting them out the hood to a sports camp, you know, upstate New York.
That's amazing.
You know, trying to deter the violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to turn it down, man. So, you know, you can walk on any street corner and see them from 13 to 35. So we gonna have real conversations with them from 13 to 35 in the same room for 8 weeks, and you know, we really gonna talk life and focus on prevention and preparation.
That's excellent. T, I don't know what's up with these headphones. I don't know if it's the box or this cord right here. I'm having like a little technical difficulties with these headphones. They keep cutting out on me. But like I said, Pastor Carl, my brother's here. We also got some other special guests into the studio. I'm going to switch headphones. But we got some other special guests in the studio. I just talked about what they got going on. Saturday, July 6th, Man Music Center. Something epic for the city. Something that every single person, if y'all into concerts, if y'all into, you know, these artists and stuff like that, these guys literally is laying it all on the line. And this is like a landmark event for them, for their company, and for the city, because this crew of people that I'm about to introduce y'all to, which y'all talked to before, is completely homegrown. They like a Philly original. They not like, oh, they say they from Philly, but they really from Morrisville. They not from saying they from Philly, but they really from Voorhees, New Jersey. Like, no, this is original West Philly's own Dope Shows, man. Say what's up to the people.
What's up?
What's up, folks?
What's good? What's good? Steph.
Mir. Dope shows.
Dope shows. Dope Fest this weekend.
Dope Fest is this weekend, man. We even went from, we initially talked about this back in like February, March. I think was the first time we talked about it. And
Right.
For people that don't know, that's literally how long it takes to put something together that's to this level.
Yeah. I mean, we started, our little baby show was January 26th. We was working on it before, like during the little baby promo, but we went in like full festival mode after that, and then we haven't done anything since Lil Baby till now, just in preparation for the festival.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, run down the lineup real quick on who's going to be at the festival, who's headlining, any surprises, like anything that y'all can give the people as far as what's already out in the forefront that they might not be aware of.
So we got P&B Rock, we got Pusha T, we got The Baby, we got Young Dolph, we got Lil Durk, we got Cowboy. As far as Philly people, we got Sim Santana, we got Rocky, who killing it, Brock Grader, Zah Sosa, Sean Sloan, Sal Basquiat,
Kill Switch.
But it's probably gonna be some surprise guests as well. Yeah.
There was another Philly artist, somebody that told me, Dope Boy from South Philly.
Yeah, he just got added.
He just got added also. Yeah, I got an event with them on Friday the 5th, and they was telling me, EJ, his manager, was telling me that they just got added to the joint too. So shout out to them also.
Yeah, EJ, that's like family.
Yeah.
So we wanted to, like for a lot of the festivals, sometimes they don't get the platform to perform. So we wanted to give some of the guys that may not always get that platform a chance to perform on a bigger stage as well. So.
Absolutely. Y'all got Sim Santana on there. For those, since the last time we recorded this podcast, he literally had a record that nobody was talking about, and now he got a record that everybody's talking about, and he just signed a big deal with Columbia.
He got like 2 million views on YouTube. Yeah, that record going crazy.
That's crazy. Shout out to Kyan, Mon Brown, Quizzy. That's all part of his management situation for Sim Santana. He actually, I had a concert Memorial Day weekend. He performed at the concert, and then everybody was leaving the show hitting me up about him.
Right.
And at the time when he was performing, I was dealing with some whole other stuff as far as running the show, and I missed him. And people sending me videos like, who this? I'm trying to sign him. Like label people, managers, everybody was like looking for this kid. And then you fast forward a month later, and he signed to Columbia.
Right,
it's crazy.
That was really when I first seen him. I was seeing like people posting it from your show.
Footage from that show.
Yeah, that was when I first seen it.
And then he did that dance with the cast on his leg,
and that went viral.
Then he was out of here.
Yeah, that went viral.
Mm-hmm. He seemed like a good kid though.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's super talented. I'm interested to see what he gonna do now that he got the platform. Like a lot of things, with these artists, man, especially like the youngins and the local artists, man. What they gotta realize is when they be going and negotiating these deals, it ain't always necessarily about the money. Like it be about like the label support and like who's gonna get behind you and like push you and make sure that you become a national act and not just stay regional, because you could go to Empire in San Francisco and get $200,000 and they can just do your digital distro and you can market yourself. But it's like, all right, if you're gonna sign to a major and basically give away your likeness and your intellectual property and all that,
They gotta get really
they
behind
gotta
it.
get really behind it and
Yeah.
make sure that your records go where they supposed to go. So
Sure.
I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with Columbia. They've been signing a lot of urban artists.
Yeah, they have. I was just playing. I was just playing something for him in the car. It's this boy from I don't even know where he's from. He got like this weird. It's kind of like a Mexican song. It's called Uno. His name ABMJ from like I think he's from Cali.
Yeah.
And he signed with Columbia.
signed with Columbia.
But I was seeing like I followed the A&R that signed him, and I was seeing him like post everybody.
He like, let me
signed.
check out this. Yeah.
And I checked him out. I was like, damn, they just posting. They just getting people with good songs or whatever. That's
Right.
their thing right now. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
It ain't.
Plus, like in this business, you gotta be ahead of the curve. Like when y'all did the baby, it was like
It was like, all right, yeah, cool.
No. Mir was telling me about it, and because his little brother was telling him
Yeah,
about
my
it.
little brother like a secret like A&R. He
Right.
be knowing everything
Shout out
before
Jawan.
everything before it. Come on.
Yeah. So he was like, and we was going back and forth. He's like, man, we got to do the baby. I'm like, man, I ain't never heard of it. He was like, no, like, we got to do him. I'm like, all right, well, we was trying to get it done when we found out they had y'all's show.
Yeah.
We was going to do it. We was going to announce it after that show, but then they had like a lot going on. They didn't want to commit to the date, so we couldn't get it done early. And
Yeah,
then
he actually is. He double booked that day with y'all, right?
Yeah. We had to get him a private jet.
I've been seeing him popping off 3,
yeah.
4, 5 joints a day sometimes, depending on like where he at. Man, he like super on fire right now. But yeah, it's like as far as like the whole being ahead of the curve thing, it's like you could be ahead of the curve in a good way, or you could also be ahead of the curve like in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can. It's a such thing as like being too early on an artist because it's like, you know, as being music, all us being music people, you could look at certain scenarios and be like, all right, he with this person, he signed to this person, this is going to happen. They're going to put this video out, this going to happen.
Right.
But if it don't happen in time,
Yeah.
your money be on the line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like your money, and then ultimately your reputation, because then it's like, who is this person that y'all promoting or whatever like that? You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
could experience that too, but
it was good that y'all brung him because it's like he sold out and he came to the market, and it's like now people know him. Them 1,000 people know him, but it was probably 2,000-3,000 people that never seen him there.
Exactly.
And so they want to see him too.
the biggest thing I got following that show was like, when was the baby here? Like a lot of people missed it because it was like on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It just kind of came and went. It wasn't no big mass media promo. Like, you know, Philly people was like still listen to the radio.
Yeah,
So
right,
like it wasn't like on the radio. Like it was just like it was just a phenomenon. It was an internet based thing, and the internet carried the show to a sellout.
Yeah.
And people missed it, and then they like, well, damn, he need to come back. And,
Right.
And you know,
And y'all
got it
had
at
like
the
a
perfect
heck
time.
of a week too. It was like he like
that's right.
spiked
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at Steph the whole time like I told you. But it'd be a lot of that too, going
for
into
sure.
it like just knowing the right artist to pick, or like you saying sometimes it could be a bad thing if you too ahead of the curve, or you could book an artist, and like the NBA YoungBoy case is like we booked NBA, he was super hot. Everybody was asking for him. We felt like he had never been to Philly and got his just due here.
Right.
And it was like we put him on the show, and then Rolling Loud happened, catch a case. Now he can't. Now he locked up. It's like, and then the fans start feeling like it's on us. Like,
Like y'all got him locked
yeah,
up.
like we got something to do with it. Or like, is he going to be out? Like, ask the judge. I don't know. Like, I'm hoping the same way you hoping.
Especially that Dirk situation, man. I'm happy he came home, but they was whamming us about Dirk. Like, Dirk ain't gonna be there. Y'all false advertising Dirk. It's like we paid Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk still got our money, so Dirk get promoted. Dirk ain't sent no refund, so he on the show.
So he on the show. So, but a lot of that stuff affected. So I guess that stuff we learned this year.
Yeah.
Next year, we probably go a little bit safer as far as
As far as the acts,
yeah. But
Yeah.
might be Lil Pump as opposed to Lil Dirt.
yeah, probably.
And it was crazy because we had been talking about NBA a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And it was always like, being honest, it was always like a fear, like, dang, he be having a lot, like everybody love his music, but he be having a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really the fear of like him getting locked up. It was more so like the fear of like
Him fighting.
or him getting into things with the fans or the show being disrupted in that way. But then we was like, you know what? We gonna take the shot. And it's like we took the shot, and then
Right.
this happened.
Yeah.
And we also had a discussion about Nipsey. We was rumbling. We was rumbling about Nipsey before Nipsey got killed. Of course, rest in peace to Nip. I love Nip. Like, I'm a big Nip fan. So it was between Nip or Pusha. of course, Mirror won. But I was like, man, like Nip, he like, and we still be going back and forth about this. I'm like, he the Jay-Z for the West Coast, man. He like, oh, I don't know if he's Jay-Z.
I feel like he was the Meek.
He is the Meek of the
West Coast.
Jay-Z, Meek.
Jay is a bit far to Meek.
But I really wanted Nip.
Rest in peace to Nip.
Yeah, I really wanted Nip, and we just be having a little go back and forth like with the baby, the Nip thing. So.
And it's funny you bring up Nip because Nip is one of them artists that, you know, when he went into Atlantic, people was like, why he signed with Atlantic? Because of, you know, all of the different stuff in the media about how they break artists, and they got a pamphlet about how to make a hit record and all that stupid shit that Mike Karen was doing up there. But it's like Nip, like T.I. 10 years before him, went into Atlantic with a plan and said, I want XYZ. So it's like he had certain trade-offs that he gave up in order to keep his masters and keep his intellectual property, and he might have traded off some marketing dollars to where it's like it didn't reach the East Coast the way that it need to, even though everybody now regards Victory Lap as a classic album. So it's like it's a give and take to the music industry, and it's like sometimes you be right, sometimes you be wrong, sometimes you be half right, half wrong, or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Steph diehard Nip fan before even all of this.
Yeah.
I liked the music before. I ain't gonna say I was a diehard fan. It was just when lining those two artists up, I just felt like Pusha had more like what Philly embodied at the moment. And then we like Steph said, we went back and forth about it, but we went back and forth about a lot of artists.
A lot of artists.
Yeah, like the lineup that we ended up with wasn't necessarily the lineup that we came in wanting. It
was a timing thing.
Yeah, it was a. We ended up being the same day as the Wireless Festival in London.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, that's like one of the 3 biggest festivals in the world. Not
and it's 3 days. Yeah. So like I knew about the Wireless Festival. However, when we was scheduling our date, it wasn't like I wasn't paying attention to they London schedule no mind.
Yeah.
So like the first act we went after was Future, and they was acting like at first they could get it done. We was negotiating about the money, and then it was like, of course they offered more, like they was willing to pay more at the time, and then so he went with that date. So he wasn't able to do the Future situation. Then we was trying to get Meek, and it was like Meek was we knew that he was rolling off some type of arena tour. We didn't necessarily know it was going to be Future on it at first. Then they was saying like some Made in America stuff. It was just a lot of rumors about why he couldn't take the Philly date. Like we was talking to him directly, so it was like went through all of that. So then Rock was always going to be on the festival. It was just like where the placement was going to be. But then we knew like the album was coming out and he was going to have all of these things coming. And it's like Rock was one of our biggest shows to date when we did 2 shows, one day, 5,000 people. So it just made sense. Like we close with them as well as they've been supporting the brand since day one. So it was like we going to give Rock that look, especially on top of like the way things had played out for us.
Yeah.
We also wanted a couple people that's on the Wireless Festival, of course. Lil Baby,
Meg Thee Stallion,
Uzi. We went at a lot of them too. But Young Thug, he was on there. So they basically had everybody.
Right.
So we had announced the date, so we was kind of pickled in there, and then we had discussed like maybe moving it back, or like the man had a lot of stuff for the summer, so it was like we couldn't really find another date, so we just stuck with that date.
Yeah, I know Juice WRLD just did the man. They said he did like 6,900 tickets or something like that. Like crazy shit.
We was gonna get him too, but then he ended up being on Made in America. So we talked to a lot of people though. Yeah. But you know, there's a lot that go into.
It's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, a lot
especially
of moving parts.
When you're doing like a 8,000 cap.
Yeah. And it's like we in the business, and I ain't gonna lie, that it's like it's so much stuff that we didn't even see. Like as far as even just that, like the Wireless Festival being the same date is like if we could have picked another date, but like who thinking about what's going on in London when you picking when you thinking you picking a date for Philly, or just had rolling out with other festivals is like everybody lineups is top secret. So it's like until the artists tell you like we don't know, we hear who on Made in America, or we hear who on Roots Picnic, but it's not finalized until it touched the people, because people, we had artists that we lost. NBA prime example, but even people before we made it to the point of being able to announce the show. So it's like it's some people that we wanted, but then they ended up getting announced on other stuff. So it just throw off your whole plan.
Even Meg wasn't on Wireless until she just got smoking hot, and we was
then
talking.
They grabbed her.
Yeah, we was talking to them, and they was gonna do it, and then they was like, she got to do something over there that week, and she gonna end up staying the whole week. So it was like we was out, and she had a booking on the 6th, but she was gonna do like what the baby did.
Yeah, double booking.
Yeah, but they was like they couldn't do it because they canceled that and they just going to London. That's the type of influence you got to deal with, like with the bigger companies and stuff like that, like dealing with them, working around that. So even to just get a quality lineup in the midst of that is kind of like yeah, for real, because like they these companies, they nice and all that, but it's a lot that go into that. Like it's a whole nother podcast, podcast we can talk about. Yeah.
So how do y'all foresee the Dirk situation playing out as far as y'all show? Because I know he got a bunch of stipulations with his release, and he on bond, but he can travel, but it's a curfew, and people calling me about after parties and like.
Yeah.
The funny thing though is his camp is willing to take after party, so I don't know how the curfew situation worked. Okay. They just texted us the day he got out and was basically like because we was whamming them because people was whamming us. Yeah. So it was like the day he got out, they just texted us like, "Yo, we gonna see y'all on the 6th." Yeah. So it's like that was like a relief. And then we asked, and they were saying like he fine with set times, like they moving as if they got it all under control. So I don't necessarily know what it looked like.
They've been telling us that he was going to get out, even in the midst of, we was like, I don't know, because like they was like, we seen him on camera and all this, and they was like, I'm telling you, don't believe what you seeing in the media. He going to get out. I'm like, I don't know, dog. Maybe we need to.
Yeah, like we start being like, send the deposit back, like, cause it ain't looking good. They like, no, he gonna be home in time, and then the fans is trolling us, and they like, y'all got him locked up, or it's y'all fault. So then it was definitely a battle. Like there was some weeks where me and Steph was staying up real late, like, what we gonna do?
Yeah.
So it's been like an emotional roller coaster with it, but we a week away, and it's like at this point on the 7th, history is going to be made for our city. Yeah. It's something homegrown. Our company only 2 years old.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something that when we launched the company, we said we was going to do a festival 2 years in. So it was like we set out to do it. It's going to happen. July 6th.
Yeah.
That's major.
So note to self, man, never accept the invite to pray open dope shows, because I might get locked up sporadically like for nothing. You know what I'm saying? y'all a prison jinx.
The crazy part though is we've done 11 shows to date in 2 years. We've never had any issues with any artist not coming.
For logistics or none of that.
Nothing.
That's a big deal, man. Yeah, in 2 years, y'all got all these folks coming through. That's what's up.
Yeah,
but it's crazy that it's like the biggest thing we doing is like the a month in.
Yeah, it's like all
then
type of
everything start happening. So I mean, whatever, we built for it. So we rolling with the punches. It's gonna be a great show. We put a lot into it. We've been working on it since January. Yeah. It's still a lot of work that gotta get done, even being a week out. It's so much that go into it. It's so much logistically you got to think about. It's 6-7 artists signed that's flying into the city that day and like travel and making sure this person make their flight. We watching the weathers, like, cause the baby, we had to get him a private jet, and you want to make he booked somewhere.
I think in South Carolina or something like that.
He booked in South Carolina that night, but he coming from like a small town, Birmingham, Alabama. So it's like, so you got to make sure that like he can't miss the private jet, and then he got to be out of here by a certain time. So it's like it's a small window. Yeah, it's just a lot. There's a lot to think about.
So based on where y'all at right now, with it being 6 days out, how y'all feeling about the overall experience? What's the feedback from the people? And any other like little behind the scenes stuff y'all can share with the people, and then especially where can they get tickets at?
So tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. They're also available at the majority of all the DTLR stores.
The main box office right there on what was that, 5201?
5201 Parkside.
Parkside Avenue. It's right. They open all day, every day. So.
DTLR Villa has been like a real big strategic partner to y'all. How did y'all establish that relationship and like speak to how that infrastructure and them having all them stores and all that? How does that help like a lot of y'all show rotations run?
It's actually crazy how it came about. We did a show in Baltimore, which you was a part of that.
Yeah.
Podcast was a part of it. So when we did the show, DTLR their headquarters is in Baltimore. Right. So we got connected with them during that show, but they ain't have no stores here. But they was still watching our impact following that show. And they kept saying to us, like, a lot of the reps that we got close with during that time was saying, like, dang, like they was coming up for some of our shows, or they was saying, like, dang, y'all should come, like, when y'all gonna come back to Baltimore to do a show? And then when they ended up acquiring Sneaker Villa or whatever the merger, I just happened to see it one day on Instagram, and I'd reached out to the lady that we was working with. She had got, this was like a year later, so she had gotten a promotion, and it was like she was in a position to do a little bit more than what she did when we was in Baltimore. And with her just following the brand, following our work, she basically was like, I want to do more than just partner with y'all on one show. Like, I want to partner with the brand, and like, let's create some stuff that we doing in Baltimore that we would like to see happen in Philly. Baltimore is a real street ticket city.
Hard tickets,
so walk-ups, and they do a lot of this. They do a lot of the sales in the stores, but like Philly, we not really known for that.
Yeah.
So it's like they've been like piling with our brand to make sure that like we could start developing that here, to where getting people to go in traffic into the stores. Like the Lil Baby show was the most tickets in Philly that they ever sold in the DTLR.
Yeah.
And then the festival should top that.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where that partnership came from. It really came from like us being in Baltimore,
right.
And then it just working out.
Yeah.
Guys playing to like
Yeah.
them taking over Sneaker Villa, and like us having those relationships.
They've been a great partner though. Shout out to DTLR.
And I feel like they got a lot of platforms that like people that we may like. They got the DTLR radio. When you say like how it impacts us or help us, it's like they got DTLR radio. It's in Baltimore, but they play in all their stores. So it was like we went on there and did an interview, or like they got their own commercials that's running just in the store. So somebody could be in there shopping with their kids, and they just gonna hear it, which is not. That's just free advertisement that they provide for us. Also, like through their social medias, they blasting it out, or at the festival they gonna have like tents, and they bringing like an Airstream where it's gonna be like basically like a live broadcast on their radio station that playing all their stores across the world. So they might got 300 stores across the world. Anybody that's in the store in the DTLR on July 6th, they're gonna be hearing about dope shows in Florida or wherever. It just it helps our brand as well.
That's major.
So we got DTLR as one of the main sponsors. We got Ciroc and Crown Royal. They're gonna be doing the sponsorship. Ethic, we partner with them on our merch. We have AT&T coming in this week.
See, y'all had the Paradox collab,
Paradox.
the hottest street brand in Philly right now.
Yeah, for sure. Paradox, Torture. We gave a lot of smaller brands a look too, because like it's homegrown, and you know, like I said, even with the rappers, like they don't always get that opportunity. So
exactly,
you know, that was something we was conscious about doing.
Yeah, Barb came on from Tasties.
Yeah, Barb, Tasties.
Catering the VIP tent.
She's catering the VIP tent and giving us some backstage love, so that way the artist is able to eat good that day.
Yeah.
Talk about the VIP experience that's tied to the show. For those who need VIP tickets, y'all can hit me up directly. I got VIP tickets also. It's a limited amount. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't. It's Philly, and my man Coco, I say this all the time. Coco told me 10 years ago, he said, Chad, it's Philly. Everybody's VIP. But for this particular point of this festival, everybody's not VIP.
No.
So if you need VIP experience, hit me up. And it's funny, we talk about Baltimore, the Philly-Baltimore connection. I got a lot of people coming up from Baltimore this weekend for an event that I'm doing Friday, and they convinced everybody to stay over and come to the show. So it's a lot of Baltimore people coming up. Shout out my man Doe. It's his birthday coming up this week. We celebrating his birthday on Friday at Reserve, and then I'm bringing everybody to the concert on Saturday. So it's going to be like a crazy experience.
Yeah, the VIP experience, we really go to a lot of other festivals just to kind of see what's going on in the market. And when the last few festivals we went to, we just felt like they didn't embody the VIP experience that we was like accustomed to seeing, where it's like open bar, free good food, and like games and fun and like DJ and all of these things, like a whole nother experience outside of the festival. So it's essentially like you could be part of the festival, and then you could go in this tent and you kind of in your own world with photo ops and just all of these different things that we putting into it. So the VIP experience, I would encourage. I mean, Chad was 100% right. Everybody is not VIP, or everybody won't be able to experience it. But for those of you who can, it's like I think that's the if I wasn't working the festival, that's where I would be
for sure. So it's gonna be like we're gonna have like a lounge area. We get rent furniture. It's gonna be decorated. Like It's a VIP experience. Like even with the bigger festivals, you go into the VIP is like
real bony.
sit over here. And you got a cash bar. You got to pay for your drinks. So we really kind of curated it. So hopefully people appreciate it. And every year is going to get bigger.
Yeah.
Because we got some more ideas that we didn't implement this year for the VIP that we're going to implement next year. Right. Yeah.
So what's next for the future of dope shows? What do y'all envision? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now. For what else y'all want to do? Anything that you could talk about?
We're gonna roll out a series of concerts probably at the Fillmore, between the Fillmore, the Met. Probably gonna go back up to Boston.
Yeah, we definitely gonna go back on the road.
Yeah.
We getting right back to work though.
Yeah.
So it's like after the festival, we may take a week, just like mental break.
Yeah.
Closing out the festival, because when the festival over, it still be like a week's worth of work of just closing everything out.
Reconciliation.
Yeah. So probably take a week off, and then we're gonna be right back. We're gonna be announcing another show.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be like a series, like Steph said, whereas we in Boston, we Philly, we somewhere else, and we're gonna be trying to be right back to our every other month cycle. The festival is something that people can expect every year. This is the first annual, so I mean, you can expect it to get bigger and bigger. The goal is for us to reach 60, 70,000 people. And that's kind of why we curating these other markets that way. Like, so we're now, if we impact Boston the same way we impact in Philly, now you get a bunch of Boston people coming.
Exactly.
You impact DC or you impact New York. So it's like now the festival is a lot of work, but now we really got to run around to other cities to grow it. So that way we can have 20,000 people, 30,000 people, and we not just relying on the Philadelphia market.
Yeah. And next year we're gonna hopefully we could build our own experience, like whether it's like a parking lot, how they do Rolling Loud, or like even if it's just grass, just build our own experience, like barricade our own experience off, build our own VIPs, build our own stage. So this year,
custom everything.
So that's the goal for next year for sure. Even if it just bump up to 10,000 people next year or 12,000 people, we want to curate our own everything.
Yeah.
Because there's some things we wanted to do this year just by being at the Man we couldn't really do. Like we had a lot of people reach out, like as far as like food trucks and stuff. We couldn't really
accommodate.
We couldn't do that. It was stuff with the stage that we wanted to have done that we couldn't do. So, but it's still gonna be dope.
Yeah, I mean when you in these venues at the end of the day, sometimes they be having restrictions. So it's like if we next year create our own experience, it'll limit the amount of restrictions we have. We'll be able to do everything that we envision.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't got nothing else to share, man, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. Let people know where they can get tickets at, whether it be online or in person or whatever like that. And let something important, because I don't even know, what time does the show start?
It's an all-day festival. 12 doors open at 11. Show starts around 11:45ish, 12. It go all the way to 10 o'clock. It's all day. It's all acts all day, mixed in, big acts, everything. Like we got everything. So it's an all-day festival. So it's not just a show. So
right, because I know people used to us for doing show doors open up 7, 8 o'clock.
Right,
it's not that type of experience, and it's all ages. So you could come out with the family. It's gonna be
bring
artists.
Kids.
Yeah, it's gonna be stuff for the kids to do, moon bounces, different things, cotton candy, funnel cakes,
all that.
It's gonna have like a carnival feel.
That's gonna be in the VIP. Cotton candy, funnel cakes, popcorn. The VIP is gonna be lit.
Get your VIP tickets.
Get your VIP tickets.
Ticketmaster.com. Ticketmaster.com. DTLR stores. Tasty's got some VIP. Chad got some VIP. And the Man box office.
Yeah, all day.
All day.
We out there all day. Come see us.
You gotta pull up.
Boom doing a live broadcast. So DTLR gonna be having a live broadcast.
Yeah.
So it ain't nothing else for nobody to do if you're in this city.
It's literally nothing going on, Sam.
Right.
Nothing else going on. So pull up.
Yeah.
Man, this is a big landmark event. Like I said in the beginning, that y'all doing, man. I applaud y'all brothers. Y'all both, my friends, my family, or whatever like that. I'm extremely, proud of how far y'all came in just a little bit over 2 years, man. Like that's major and it's not a venture capital play. This is not like how some of these other festivals where they go on and they get in 100 million, 70 million from somebody and putting these shows together.
I wish. This thing from the muscle.
This is 100% grassroots, homegrown from the muscle, man. Like, and
for sure,
they put together a real major lineup for y'all, man. Fought through hurdles and obstacles and all different type of stuff, and July 6th is the payoff, man. So everybody in the Philly area, New York area, Boston, Maryland, we got a big foothold in the DMV. DMV people that support TRPE, man. I'm on the stage. I don't know if Matt's showing up. He may not. You know what I'm saying? It's possible.
Come on, Matt. We need you out there, baby. You can't miss the first annual Dope Fest.
Either way, you know what I'm saying? TRPE will be represented on that stage, and I got some surprises for the live show also. But yeah, everybody that mess with TRP, that support dope shows, this what y'all third time on? Fourth time?
Third or fourth.
Yeah, so this family here, like we got a real bond, real partnership, business and otherwise support, man. Because like I said, next year we want to be able to do 10, 15, 20,000 people on the festival. So the first one got to go right.
Yeah.
Yo,
First one gotta go right.
Mess the church's money up. We might.
Speaking of which, man, dope shows, man. We making a private announcement here, but next year, man, we gonna figure out the dope shows, the gospel edition. You know what I'm saying? So you know, Kanye got the whole church thing going on out there. We gonna create our own experience, and it's gonna be like real though. You know what I mean? Bringing the biggest gospel acts out. You know what I mean? Do it on the hood perspective. You know what I mean? Like
let's figure it out.
We got to go ahead and make it happen, man.
Let's figure it out. But I do want to be part of that. What you just was saying about the 8-week program.
Okay, program, yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
Definitely let's connect with that.
Man, kids, they really need to see what y'all doing. Like Chad was saying, man, the hurdles y'all overcame, stuff that y'all doing, like kids don't pop up every day and think about that. You know what? I love concerts. I could be the one to actually put them together. Like that's this real inspiration. I'm listening to y'all, you know, how y'all made that happen. I feel like, you know, people really need to realize, like, yo, I ain't got to necessarily rap. I ain't necessarily got to make the t-shirt line.
But I can still be in the entertainment
industry. You know what I'm saying? And brush shoulders and do the booking and put stuff like that together. So, man, y'all killing it, man.
No, we all about the youth too. Like we definitely always in the schools. I worked at the school for 7 years. We do book bag drives, do giveaways all the time. We've been doing this with our partnership with DTLR. We've been doing these ticket blitzes where we allow just kids to come out and we give away 15, 20 pairs of tickets. Just making sure that the kids that can't afford it. Like I don't want a kid feeling like they don't have the opportunity to come just because they can't. Their parents financially can't afford it or whatever they hardships they got going on. So we definitely want to be a part of the 8-week program. That you got
man,
up.
Listen, let's make it happen, man. Sure. And you know, Mayor said it when he seen me, man. I was renting chairs from him, man, for our first location when we planted the church in Philly. You know
shout out to Sitting Pretty.
Yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, I mean they was right on time.
Money. That's a whole nother
they delivered on time, pick up everything. It was love. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a small world. I always tell people, Philly is literally 1 degree of separation, whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's 1 degree of separation in Philly. Sure. Everybody know everybody, man. But shout out to my bros from Dope Shows, man. Like I said, Saturday, July 6th, the biggest festival in Philly for this year is going down. Dope Fest, man. Get y'all tickets, Ticketmaster.com, DTLR stores, VIP request only. I don't have the regular tickets. VIP request only. Hit me up, man. I got y'all, and I'm pulling up by myself. So let's get it done.
All right, we appreciate you for having us, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
Appreciate y'all, man. Dope Fest this Saturday. After getting pushed back twice due to recording delays, News Huddle is releasing his debut EP, Trying to Beat the Odds. This seminal and personal touchstone gives a 7-song glimpse into the personality of a young black man simply trying to beat the odds set against him. In the race for our collective musical attention, Trying to Beat the Odds looks to be in the forefront of all your musical diaries. The first independent release from News Huddle is now available on Monday, July 1st for $7.99 on iTunes as well as all streaming platforms. That's Trying to Beat the Odds by News Huddle, available Monday, July 1st. Really podcast server, we back. It's your boy C Diddy. I got my bro Pastor Carl live in the studio. We just had the team from Dope Shows was here, man. They just filled y'all in on everything going on this coming weekend, 4th of July weekend, Dope Fest, Saturday, July 6th at the Man Music Center. Something epic for the city, man. Make sure y'all come out. P&B Rock, Lil Durk, who else is on the lineup? Cowboy, Realest Podcast Ever, Kill Switch, Sim Santana, Rocky, Young Dolph, Pusha T, a lot of people. And we're back. Fresh out of break. Matt is on administrative leave. Trying to convince Matt to come out next Saturday for the Dope Fest to do the live podcast with me. Hopefully he doesn't have to work. But for the rest of the day, man, we just want to do our normal do of what we do. Pastor Carr, you've been here more times than anybody. You know how this goes. We got some topics to talk about.
Yeah, man, sophisticated ignorant.
First and foremost, NBA free agency is off the hook. Teller, I know you out there checking everything out. Can you please inform us of anything that I miss while I'm sitting here on the air?
Yeah, nothing that matters.
All right,
really.
nothing that matters so far. So all right, so
Unless you care about Ricky Rubio.
I don't. Where's he going? Indiana?
The Suns.
The Suns. What? All right, so far in NBA free agency, we've had Darren Collison retire to focus on being a Jehovah's Witness. So that's the first thing that happened. Nikola Mirotic left the NBA after going on a deep run in the playoffs with the Milwaukee Bucks to go play for Barcelona in the Euro League. Brook Lopez is staying with the Bucks. Super duper overpaid. 4 years, $52 million for a stretch five, which he's like the only stretch five in the league. But for a stretch five, Jimmy Butler. I posed a question on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it. Jimmy Butler, Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi walk into a bar. Who's the weirdest guy out of the four?
That's Kawhi. Easy.
Kawhi?
I used to think it was Kawhi, but the deeper we get into this, Kawhi is not as strange as we thought he was.
Maybe Kyrie.
It's probably Kyrie. And I don't know if you watch Colin Cowherd's show. There was a story that came out about Kyrie from this season. 8 o'clock in the morning, Celtics facility. They are in the tape room to review tape and all of that. Everybody's just starting to get there. Kyrie's the first one there. He walks in. Brad Stevens is there. Brad Stevens says, "Hey, good morning." Kyrie walks up to him and says, not hello, not good morning, not how was your day, how are you kidding, none of that. What does the word government mean to you? Radio silence. Brad Stevens goes into some long soliloquy about protecting the people and you know, you got a public trust and this, that, and the third, and Kyrie looks at him dead in his eyes and says, "Control, Brad. Control." That's what the word government means, and walks away. He is the strangest dude in the NBA by far.
By far?
He said that the world was flat as of 2017 and was really dying on that hill like every day post game. He had to explain why the world was flat.
And you know, I'm gonna say this, man. I think Kyrie probably is one of those guys that, you know, somewhat probably is one of them deep thinkers. You know what I mean? It's like really trying to search one of them kind of weird, stimulating kind.
I call him
you know,
smart dumb nigga.
Yeah, there you go. but like, I think, man, I would say Jimmy Butler, and the reason being is just like, is there a more toxic NBA superstar than Jimmy Butler, dog?
No.
Like, I mean, we watched him beef with Derrick Rose when
Kobe
it was
Bryant.
really Derrick Rose's team. You know, we watched him really go to Minnesota and almost just
He almost flipped the organization upside down.
He almost ran Karl Anthony Towns out of basketball. Like just didn't make the young. He made the youngin not want to play basketball anymore. To then going to the Sixers, where you playing with two other young all-stars, and you just got a great situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Big market city, and you talk about you really want to go to the Miami Heat. Like
to be a perennial 9 seed with Dion and
12
Whiteside.
seed. 12 seed.
With Dion and Hassan Whiteside. My biggest problem with Jimmy is this. Besides the fact that he's just a idiot, Jimmy is the only guy that doesn't know that he's not a first team All NBA guy. Like, he conducts himself as if it's like LeBron 2.0, like the way that he acts. And I'm like, I'm looking at his stat sheet. Like, you ever seen that meme with Rondo when he's looking at his stat sheet and he's like, who took 37 shots? It's like, yo, Jimmy averaged 18.4, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Those are pedestrian numbers when you're the primary offensive target on a team.
Fam, you can't even say LeBron. Jimmy Butler think he's Michael Jordan. Like, the way he tries to take his teammates' hearts and just talk crazy and just think he got the green light to shoot 37 times and want to take over a franchise. It's like, fam, like, nah, man. Jimmy Butler is extremely weird, cuz, like, I mean, he might well just say he want to go tricking in Miami and you know what I'm saying, live his best life or something.
Play a little bit of basketball.
Fam, the Sixers can pay him the max.
Well, apparently what he's trying to do
Sign
is
and trade.
force them to pay him the max and then trade him for Josh Richardson, Justice Winslow, and a third player to be named later, and probably some picks.
Probably Dragic. Or Dragic.
Probably Dragic or whatever like that. So it's like, all right, the Sixers fulfill shooting need, athleticism need, point guard need, because Ben Simmons can't play point guard in the fourth quarter because he won't shoot the ball. But that's another story for another day. They're trying to extend him,
give him some more money.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're going to strike out on Jimmy. You know what we're going to do? We're going to give Ben some money early. So you got that going on. And then, so it's like it's going to be literally going to be him, Dion, and Hassan Whiteside. And they're going to be like a perennial 9 through 12 seed in the East, and he's going to make a boatload of money. No state income tax in Florida, which is what they always talk about when they talk about these contracts. But they're going to suck. Like, they're not going to be a good team.
And Whiteside has like the worst contract in the league, pretty much.
Well, Chris Paul in competition with that.
Pretty bad.
That too.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of bad contracts, Harrison Barnes just finessed the Sacramento Kings out of 4 years, $90 million. The only time you opt out of 25 is when you know you got 90 coming. So he got $90 million. Nick Vucevic, who's a very productive but unathletic player, just got 4 years, $100 million from the Orlando Magic. D'Angelo Russell was talking about going to Minnesota via sign and trade now that they lost Ricky Rubio, which that doesn't make any sense.
Tobias just signed with the Sixers.
Tobias signed back?
Yeah. 5/180. I mean, you kind of had to.
You had to. I mean, with losing Jimmy, you had to. Tobias is super duper underrated. The last couple of weeks, I've been talking to a friend of mine about like some of Golden State's options. Like if they lose KD, Tobias was like at the top of that list. Like if they could have found a way to like finagle a sign and trade for KD and get that $35 million trade exception, Tobias would have been a good option for them filling in at like a poor man's KD kind of level, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists or whatever like that.
I heard people say that with Denver too. I think he would fit in Denver perfectly.
Denver is a super underrated. I know they were a 2 seed this year, but super underrated going forward because they're getting Michael Porter Jr. back healthy, and they signed Bol as a late second round pick, so there's no pressure for him to be good.
Come right out the
But
gate,
if he is good, then you just basically added 2 near like all-star, like borderline young all-star level players, at least rookie game level players.
Yeah. Porter was actually like supposed to be a top 3 pick in that draft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before like he had
people were talking about him since he was 15 years old.
Young
like
was supposed to be nice.
Yeah, he just had a bunch of bad injuries, but apparently Denver's training staff is one of the best in the business, and they make sure that them guys get back healthy and get on the court.
Well, and also Denver as a city, man, like Colorado's one of the cleanest places you can go in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it's really, if anybody never been to Colorado's a phenomenal place, to be honest with you, outside of the snow and all of that. But, yeah, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful place, man, real rap. And it's expensive too. But Tobias supposed to got 5 years, 180.
That's crazy.
Damn.
But you had to do it.
You had to do it, yeah.
That's what the money's like now. Like every single contract you're gonna be saying, like, how are they getting that much? It's just the money now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I still could shoot, man. I gotta see if I can, man.
At this point, there was a video yesterday of LeBron and Kuzma working out together at the Lakers facility. Somebody retweeted it and said, "Damn, the whole team out there right now." That's literally
what it is.
What it is. It's like I got 2 more guys or whatever like that. So KD is going. KD, Kyrie, and DeAndre Jordan are going to the Nets.
Terrible. Mark my words, and I ain't saying this from my Knicks fandom. You know what I mean? Even though I had to get my Kevin O'Leary on, man, he's dead to me now. KD is dead to me now. He's dead to me. But I, honestly speaking, I've always stated that those are 2 people that I just think, to me, isn't really conducive for a winning environment. Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kyrie really went and just like, I don't know what he did, but he made that young talent when he decided to come on back in Boston. Yeah. Suddenly Tatum looked like Chad out there. You know what I'm saying? And Terry Rozier looked like me.
Yeah,
and
Tatum was a borderline all-star.
Come on, man. He was ready to we thought he was ready to make the leap, which is why I honestly think them getting Kemba is a much better situation than letting Kyrie go. Kyrie's just younger, but Kemba can do everything Kyrie can do on the court and actually get along with people. You know what I'm saying? So, and not ask you about what this government mean during the training session. So like with that, I feel like with Kyrie trying to lead that ship, and then the Nets to let go of D'Angelo Russell when he just hit the All-Star. He just made the All-Star team. They made the playoffs with him there. You know what I'm saying? I think he's younger. He has the capabilities of getting even better.
He would have been cheaper.
Come on. Would have been cheaper. Definitely going to be cheaper. Not to mention, you still got to wait a year for KD. And I stated this. If Kawhi goes to the Lakers, I'm glad the Knicks didn't give KD that money, because if Kawhi goes to the Lakers about to win the next 4 championships.
It ain't gonna matter.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna matter, right? And not to mention, it's still a huge gamble for the Nets, because if KD don't come back from this thing the way he's supposed to, you still got Kyrie, who still has those chemistry type of issues playing with people. KD don't
even with
have
people
a
he wants to play with.
Facts.
He
Come
still
on.
has chemistry issues.
Come on, man.
So it's like, all right, if you the Nets, you got 1 year of Kyrie, Dinwiddie, the Young Bucks, and Karis LeVert and DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Then you insert KD into the lineup. The only person that's came back and was their exact same self after an Achilles was Dominique Wilkins, but he was 21 years old when it happened, as opposed to 31 years old.
Yeah, history says it takes at least 2 seasons
To
after
come
your
back.
injury. Yeah,
they saying that he can't do nothing basketball related for 365 days.
Wow.
So that takes you to next NBA Finals time.
Yeah.
He can't do nothing basketball related for 365 days. Even if he shortens it and it's 250 days, he's coming back in April, first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. And DeMarcus Cousins, for the record, was in the playoffs, was moving like Matt would.
Correct.
He
had 11 and 13, and they said this is a phenomenal game out of him.
Yeah, he couldn't slide left or right on defense at all. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this though. I do believe the way that KD plays the game, where it wasn't heavily relied upon on his athleticism, to where he's 7 feet and he can shoot over anybody and he can just shoot, flat out shoot. I think that he's still going to be set up to be a very, very effective player. And especially if he don't have no hiccups or no hurdles with his rehab. If he don't rush himself back, even if he's lost some quickness, it's like you still can't stop this 7-footer who's supremely skilled and can shoot from mid-range, from 40 feet from the basket. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't have to jump out there and dunk on you anymore, but he can definitely shoot it from everywhere. So, and he's not too heavy on his feet. He's 7 feet, 190 pounds. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? So like with that, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like a power is a lot of his game, but or explosiveness is, to be honest with you. So, I don't like the fact again that Kyrie Irving is going to really still be running that ship, because you're going to have KD trying to still fill himself out, figure himself out, and I don't think Kyrie is the guy that's like, you know what I mean, that you really
have to rely on Kyrie. That's where your offense is coming from.
Yeah,
him and Karis LeVert.
Yeah,
because DeAndre's finished.
The owner going to cash out though. He going to make his money.
Oh my God,
you know what I mean?
They got the Prokhorov is selling out. The Russian is selling out to a Chinese guy with more money than him, like a mega billionaire or whatever. So just looking at like the history of the game and the fact of like where Kobe is as far as like his international status and what being an NBA champion did for him and all that, especially when he won those last 2 on his own,
for sure,
and how that cemented his legacy as far as China goes and all
global
that
icon,
that global icon, that international market. There's a legacy play here on behalf of KD to say, all right, if I go to Brooklyn and bring the first championship to New York in 40-something years, I'm a god. Like, it's over. All the criticism, all that goes out the window. But you got to do it. And you got to do it with lesser parts than what you had in Golden State.
And the pressure, though, think about that. It's through the roof now. Because you done did this big thing and you done made your announcement. You know what I mean? Like, at least when LeBron made the announcement, he wasn't coming out with an injury and he's about good 25 or something like that. You know what I mean? So, like, with that being said, this Kyrie, this ain't like humble stars like Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. You know what I'm saying? Like, the expectation, and you in New York. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you in New York. The pressure, literally, the Nets was the team that kind of crept up on everybody and was like, "Damn, they made the playoffs." You know what I mean? Oh, they trending upwards. Now it's like, no, you better win a championship within these 3 years, these first 3 years.
Yeah, you have to,
or
it's a failed experiment.
Failed experiment, and everybody's going, and the New York media is going to eat you alive. You know what I mean?
It's going to be an interesting situation to play out. I know KD got a lot of stuff going on off the court that he got going on, media companies and tech investments and stuff like that. An underrated thing that a lot of people aren't aware of that's outside of the tech circles, there is a Silicon Alley in New York that, it doesn't necessarily rival what's going on in San Fran,
Valley,
but it's a presence, you know what I'm saying? And, you can get a lot of stuff off the ground. And then the stock market is in New York.
Yep.
A lot of stuff is in New York, you know what I mean? So I'm sure that KD's a very, very smart guy, almost too smart at times.
Yeah.
And it may be a situation where, he's looking at the whole totality of this and saying, all right, I just got to win one and I'm off the hook forever.
Oh, for sure.
I just got to win one. I can make a boatload of money. I got a Chinese mega billionaire that's going to be my team owner. He going to plug me to everything over in Asia and all of that. And
yeah, all my merchandise ready to be my merchandise price rate drop drastically because I'm gonna get the warehouse plug.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, my T-shirt's gonna cost me 32 cents instead of $3.
So it's like all of those things that play. I just want to see how it's going to play out on the court. I just think that Kyrie and KD, I just didn't know that they had this much love for each other. They're literally like on some Steve Francis and Cuttino Mobley shit. Like I didn't know that it was to this level.
Well, they've been saying that all year. They were saying that, since the offseason that Kyrie and KD was talking about playing somewhere together. So, they were saying that they really was going to target somewhere. But, I mean, from apparently what I heard like, one thing that really kind of soured the whole KD situation with the Knicks was that the Knicks really wasn't that interested in Kyrie Irving. Because, they was talking they was talking that Kyrie Irving stuff.
If you can get KD, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Even on a bad will and all that, you roll the dice, you figure it out.
Yeah.
You don't let the fact that Kyrie's a head case ruin getting KD.
Yeah, I guess, but I guess from the Knicks' perspective, when they rolled them dice, paying Stephon Marbury, Steve Francis, Eddie Curry, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because they was all 40.
Yeah, but man, Steph wasn't that old, man. He was coming home, you know what I mean? So you got these guys who kind of weird, and then it's like,
They're like, we've been here before.
We've been here before because now, like, just listen, the Nick thing, right? That it would have been considered the Nick thing to do, right? Like, just hypothetically speaking. If KD don't come back and be KD, they'd be like, it would be the Knicks to go ahead and bring a head case like Kyrie there. Right. KD don't ever return or able to step back on the court. He becomes Allen Houston all over again. Yeah. Now, you know what I mean? He's just getting the – so it's like, I don't think, from what I heard, they really weren't interested in Kyrie as Kyrie was initially into the Knicks, and that's how he got sold on the Brooklyn thing.
Damn.
Yeah. And, with that being said, it is what it is.
So as a Knicks fan, where do y'all go from here?
I think the Knicks should – stay the course. I think they should probably sign Julius Randle, let him play the 4. He's still young, like 24, 25. Yeah. Just came off a great year, 21 and 8 he was averaging. With the young guys they got, you got Dennis Smith Jr., just drafted the youngin' Barrett from from Duke. Kevin Knox last year.
Like Kevin.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Mitchell Robinson. He made second team all rookie team, you know what I mean? And was averaging like 2 blocks a game. So you got a young core, you know what I mean? Like unless Kawhi wants to come, I wouldn't. If I'm them, I'd throw money at Julius Randle because he's still young and he's a guy that's still young and fit with the youth movement,
right?
Yet can still probably play at an all-star level, especially in the East from the 4. And yeah, I would sign mid-tier free agents, guys, shooters and veteran guys who can defend and shoot the 3. But I wouldn't throw no money at nobody else outside of Kawhi, man, to be honest with you, as far as like huge max money. I wouldn't throw that type of money out there, man. You know what I mean? So
I saw something earlier that said that the Lakers went from being a dark horse to Kawhi is theirs to lose.
That's what I heard.
Because he's asking certain type of questions that like indicates that he wants to be there. As far as like, can Magic be in the room? I want to meet with the owner, like stuff like that. And it's basically like, the thing about Kawhi is I think that the media has just had some read wrong all the way, and that they've been positioning him for the last 2 weeks as just like this world breaker and kind of like the Hulk of the NBA, and he's dead set on like bludgeoning every dynasty and all this dumb shit. And I think that he's probably over it, and he's like, yo, I can go and win 7 easy ones as opposed to 3 hard ones and be at home. Like
right. No, you're right, bro. And I think. Like, what people fail to realize is, like, and this is why I really love the fact that they won anyway, and I love what Kawhi did, man, because he took so much heat last year. You know what I mean? Remember, people was trying to make it seem like he was the problem with
He was
Popovich.
faking all
Yeah,
that.
faking it and all that because he's like, no, I'm taking my time. And KD was a prime example. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm taking my time to get right. You know what I mean? And it's like the media was just lauding after, over Greg Popovich. Then people even had the nerve to try to question whether Kawhi was that great anyway or was it the system. Now this dude goes to Toronto. You know what I mean? Toronto couldn't sniff past the first round whenever they ran into LeBron. And this dude got him to the championship, without the stars around him. You know what I'm saying?
And they took the hardest route. They played a young, talented Orlando team. The
Sixers
took them to
and
the
the
brink.
Bucks.
And the Bucks.
They
took the hardest
the MVP.
route to the finals.
Beat the MVP. You
Made
know
him
what I'm
look
saying?
pedestrian.
Made him look pedestrian, fam. Yeah, I mean through Milwaukee because they had to take the road through Milwaukee. So with that, and then you went ahead and you beat Golden State. So I think, man, like Kawhi been saying it though, man. He want to win. And not to mention, he didn't get the chance to do it on his terms. Like San Antonio thought they were screwing him over.
Right.
We're going to send you to Toronto.
And
Danny Green, we're going to send y'all to Toronto. That's what we're going to do to y'all.
He like,
you know
all
what
right,
I'm saying? Bet. Okay, cool. You know what I mean?
I got something for y'all.
I'm going to play ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be in the finals. And y'all good luck with getting to the playoffs. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think if Kawhi wanted to do it on his own terms, he, come from out that California area and all that, you know what I mean? I don't got no problem with it. You know what I mean? Especially being as though that, he's already, he's played out his contract. He went and won something for Toronto. One thing Toronto can't do is look at it as a loss. Like, they was probably never, ever, ever going to win a championship in their entire existence. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said,
and you're never going to capture a more perfect season than what they just had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's
the perfect storm.
It's the perfect storm.
Yeah.
You catch Embiid when he's sick. Can't do nothing for better part of 2 games. The Warriors fall apart on you.
Yeah.
You go against a healthy Bucks team and destroy them for 2 games in a row and just took the series, 3 games in a row, took the series from them. And it's just like Kawhi couldn't play any better.
Yeah.
Like, he was a 50, 40, 90 guy
With
on a
limp.
bad wheel. With a
limp.
bad wheel.
Bro, without no superstar to take the pressure off of him.
Correct.
So that's why I think, at this point of the game, Kawhi might as well run about 2-3 more championships off. You know what I'm saying? And he really gets to start being discussed in some of them crazy conversations because it's like, in a super team era, dude just won a championship without no real star playing on side of him. Now, you can count, Kyle Lowry is whatever you want to count him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he has a good resume in the NBA. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say that, and he's from North Philly, so I'm not. I'm going.
But prior to this playoff run, it was what it was.
Yeah, it was what it was.
It was It was regular season Lowry, and it was playoff Lowry.
Absolutely.
And there was a Kyle Lousy low light reel that was circulating the internet.
He didn't score in the first Orlando game, I think.
Man,
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like
he turned up though in that last game.
that
in the
last
finals,
game.
though.
He
my
was
goodness.
a dog.
Yeah, 26 in the first
He
half or
was a
so.
dog.
Yeah,
He was going crazy.
Yeah. He redeemed himself, man. That was a North Philly, and we resilient from North Philly, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah. So I mean, Kawhi, the way he literally, I love the fact that again, he didn't have a super team around him. And the synergy and everything else. And I think it spoke a lot to him as a teammate. So y'all went from trying to make him the villain as if he was this weird guy that was like, you know what I'm saying, creating this locker room divide over there in San Antonio. He went to Toronto and won a championship. You know what I mean?
did.
So, shout out to him, man. And if he goes to the Lakers, man, cancel Christmas.
It's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, it's the next 3 championships. Easily. My wife said, who's going to play point guard? I said, LeBron.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
I'm excited to see him play point
Shout out to LeBron, though, because LeBron was willing to just say, here, AD, take this number. This your team, youngin'.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like LeBron, also wants to, somewhat coasted enough. Not saying he doesn't want to play hard, but I'm saying I think he wants to go in that mode where he's in preservation mode. He wants to preserve himself because he said he wanted to see his son in the league and play while his son gets to the league.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you go ahead, you take the back seat, you sit there. Now you can become Ben Simmons. You can sit there and say, I'm going to get 18 and 12, 13 assists and let Kawhi and AD do their thing. And Kuzma, you can get off too.
But we can count on you to hit a 3-pointer or a jump shot or a fadeaway.
Oh, for sure. For sure. You've been here before.
Yeah, so it's like you actually know what you're doing as opposed to Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to play 3 quarters and take off the 4th where we just totally can't rely on you. You know what I'm saying?
Ben be getting those texts from Kendall, man, after the 3rd quarter. You know what I mean? He be trying to she don't text back and he just loses his mind, man. That's what that is.
And
man.
not to mention they still got Kuzma.
Yeah, they got Kuz.
Still got Kuz. Like
That's good.
who's pretty much a shoe in the average, probably 18, 7, and 5 or something like that.
Oh, and don't discount the guys that that's like, yo, man, I'm 32. I need that ring.
Yeah.
Like, hold up, let me, player. I mean, a player exception.
David West was eligible for a $16 million contract, went to Golden State and took the vet minimum.
Oh yeah. No, them guys.
Because at some point, it's like, all right, I got $84 million in the bank. Like, I got to do something.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna have no Twitter debate about me saying, yo, he was good, but he ain't win no ring. Right. You know what I mean? Yo, that's real, man. That's real.
They, I just got another alert. They basically just said the Warriors are pursuing a sign and trade for KD now to Brooklyn to try to get back a $35 million trade exception. So that they can turn around and use that on another player at some point during the season.
Okay.
So if they are able to get like 3 first-round picks, they're going to be meaningless first-round picks. But if you have them, now you got 6 first-round picks over the next couple of years because you got to rotate years.
For sure. Oh, yeah, you can't do them
trade consecutive years or whatever. So it's like,
picks,
it's like, all right, they mess around and get 3 first-round picks and a trade exception for KD. They might add somebody that we not even thinking about right now to the Warriors.
Listen, fam, I'm telling you right now, y'all hearing it on TRP right now, TRPE for me. Don't be surprised, man, if them Nets mess around and be a playoff team this next year. Kyrie
and DeAndre not enough.
That's what I'm saying. Kyrie has shown us though, man. He can go out there and he gonna get his 29. You know what I'm saying? And you mess around, look up because the coaching got to be right with him. You know what I'm saying? Like
who is their coach? I don't know either.
I'm sad. I'm shocked that I don't even know.
I was excited to see Kyrie and KD being coached by Fizdale.
Kenny Atkinson.
Right. Damn, sure is, man. Yo, absolutely. That's what I wanted to see too. I just wanted to see KD work with Fizz. But again, man, it's like, yeah, man. I don't know. Like that's gonna be a whole lot of pressure, man. And they just got to be able to handle that pressure. Because if KD had trouble handling the pressure over there in
meltdown every 2 weeks
in the Bay, but just imagine how the New York Post and them dudes coming. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, like if you look up and your team probably only 10 wins more per year than the Knicks at the time. Oh, the country's giving you hell. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like you can't be 45 win and the Knicks somewhere at like 38, and they like, yo, but y'all spent $400 million to bring them 2 guys over.
Exactly.
Like, yo, the pressure is going to be crazy, insurmountable. So, again, man, I'm interested in seeing that, man. I just would have rather, I would have rather seen KD and Kawhi, you know what I'm saying, do something together. More so.
The KD Kyrie thing never made sense to me. And I get it. Y'all friends or whatever, y'all want to play together. But that, to me, that's not a winning scenario, especially if you got LeBron, Kawhi, and AD, and Kuzma, and me and Teller on the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't really make much sense.
Fam, yo, listen, the Lakers go ahead and pull that Kawhi move off. Free agency don't even matter.
It's over.
It just really don't even matter. Teams might as well put they put their money back up in some stocks or something and just hold off. You know what I'm saying? Like real rap, man. You might as well go ahead and real talk. It don't even matter. Like, yo, them dudes go ahead and get Kawhi, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be honest. I think even if they get like a D'Angelo Russell coming back to LA, you know what I'm saying? If they bring him back there, as a young good player, and it's like you got a future with him and AD, even as LeBron really fades to black. It's like, yo, yeah. And then you got the Warriors who Clay is not playing either for the rest of this year coming up. So like they out of the picture. Like I don't believe in Steph and Draymond at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think they should trade Draymond. That's ahead of free agency. I'm not a Draymond fan.
Yeah,
he drives me crazy.
He does, but I feel like, bro, honestly, I just had this conversation with somebody. Since the Warriors had done Mark Jackson dirty, Draymond is like the only thing that still kind of brings a fire to that team.
Yeah.
Like, if he's out that picture, they a bunch of light-skinned dudes. They done. Right. And we both sit here, we light skin, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, but we from Philly. We different type. But real talk, they soft.
Yeah.
They soft. Without Draymond, it's like, fam, them teams get physical and everything else. Who got the attitude?
Yeah. My issue with Draymond is he just makes some like critical mistakes.
Oh, he's annoying. Yeah. He's annoying.
He just drives me crazy. And Steph drives me crazy in the same manner, but with the turnovers.
Man, he gets scared.
He gets shook.
And
like,
a shoot from 40 feet with 7 seconds. Like, that's cool. And I keep telling people that all the time. Extremely great and gifted player, but his game is not suited for crunch time. It's not, fam.
And I love Steph, but it is what it is.
Yeah, fam, listen, that's not a high percentage shot when the game on the line. Like, that's cool. You can shoot and pull up from down at half court to end the third quarter. But when it's 7 seconds, fam, I don't want you dribbling in circles and then heave up some three-pointer.
Falling away.
I
want you squaring up and being the best shooter in the game.
Come on, man.
And that's what Clay does.
Or creating a better shot.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, get that greater shot, pass it, create, do something. But come on, you're right. Clay definitely, will definitely go ahead and try to pull up a better shot. But yeah, man, they gonna miss KD.
Bad. Because it's gonna, it changes everything. And it's like, all right, the ball movement and all that's cool, but you can't defend 7 foot 37 points. Like, it's just KD was averaging. Matt made this point. He was like, in the beginning of the series with Toronto, we was talking me, him, and Ra, and he was like, KD is averaging 37 in the playoffs. Where are you getting that 37 points per game from?
And also, don't forget the most important thing. See, he averaged 37 while shooting like 60% from the field, bro. Super efficient. Like, he'd give you the 37 on like 14 shots. You be like, how the hell did you just do this? But that's the thing, man. Like, and not to mention when they need the basket. And that's why, as much as dumb as Dre was, one of his biggest problems was giving KD a hard way to go the last 2 years, getting on his nerves. Like, y'all begged him to come because y'all knew when y'all was playing LeBron and company, y'all ain't had nobody that really could just take over the game when it really mattered. When they start playing y'all physical, it was nothing y'all can do. So you got KD because KD can't be guarded by nobody. You know what I'm saying? But Dre, you go ahead and start arguing with this dude all on the court, off the court, saying all kinds of stuff.
On the bench.
Yo, come on, man.
I'm sure he knows exactly what to say to get under his skin too.
Oh, for sure. Playing with him and practicing with him, like, he has to know him inside and out, how to trigger him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man. So they're going to miss. I think that dynasty is dead. That's done. It's over. It's really over.
They're going to be they're going to be a 3 to 6 seed, compete with Portland. Like,
I think 3 is generous. When you look up and you see the Blazers was balling out, and I think they're going to continue to progress. You see a team like, Denver. Utah, you know what I'm saying? Utah's definitely improving.
That Mike Conley move is underrated.
Yeah, Utah's improving. Then you got the Lakers. I think those guys, man.
I wanted the Lakers to find a way to trade for Mike Conley. I thought that would have been an underrated move. He coming off a year. He had the same stats as Kyrie. He was averaging 24 and 7. He was balling.
Yo, and people knocked that
And he's
deal.
a stout defender, and he's 6'4", 195 pounds, as opposed to Kyrie is 6'2" and a half and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's a smart player that know his role, and he's a stout defender. So that's actually who I wanted the Lakers to get. He went the Utah route, whatever. They gave up a lot to get him.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting how these next couple hours of free agency play out. KD was supposed to be making an announcement on his media platform. That got spoiled like 4 hours early by a Woj bomb.
So, look, it was reported just now, Knicks owner Jim Dolan was not prepared to offer Durant a full max contract due to concerns over his recovery from Achilles injury.
So they was hedging all the way around the board.
Yeah, so, they saying Knicks officials in Los Angeles tonight meeting with Julius Randle. So, I think that's why I said, like y'all was saying, guys coming back from that Achilles, man, it's crazy. Hard. So, and knowing that you got to do that plus still bring another max guy or somebody that he wants over there that you still may not be high on. You do that when LeBron's coming,
right?
And he's 100%. You know what I'm saying? Then you like Cleveland did. You know what? We got first pick, but we gonna send Wiggins on out of here. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got Wiggins. We sending them out. Send us Kevin Love
because we want a known commodity.
We want a known commodity. You know what I mean? And we know we know what we have in LeBron because LeBron's here. LeBron's 100%. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, I that's where I would have had those reservations too. Even though I still, like I said, I would have took the gamble for KD because
just for the ticket sales part.
There you go. There you go.
Just for the media blast of being able to roll out Kyrie and KD.
Come on. So I definitely would have did that, but I think that too many people feel like that's the Knicks move. They're already the most valuable franchise in the NBA now. So it's like fans would have said this was just a money move. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is why we can't win.
Yeah, they got criticized one way or another.
One way or another. You know what I mean? One way or another, man. So but it's gonna be interesting, man. Free agency, man. Again, if all this is for nothing, if all this is for nothing if
Kawhi go to LA.
If Kawhi go to LA, fam, it's over anyway.
All bets is off.
All bets is off, fam.
The combination of any two of them is enough to wreak havoc.
So Julius Randle agrees to a 3-year, $63 million deal with the Knicks. I like that.
Called it.
I called it. 21 a year. You know what I'm saying? So, which is good. And he's a young player. So I really like that. Man. Shout out to my Knicks, man. Making me proud, man.
Making moves out here. Shout out to the Knicks, man.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Yo, so, yeah, man, the NBA free agency, man. One thing me and Chad was talking about, too, on the way up here, man, was just that, yo, man, it's like crazy. It's a good crazy, though, to see how much money guaranteed these guys are getting. And that they know that they're walking into, like Dame Lillard, $200 million guaranteed just over the next 4 years. Well, he got a 4-year extension for almost $200 million for 4 years.
It's like $258 over 6 years or something like that.
Man.
Not to mention the Adidas money. Not to mention whatever other endorsements he gonna get because he hit that legendary shot against OKC. Like, it's just so much money in the game of basketball right now because, unlike the NFL, they've globalized the game to a point where there's so many outside revenue streams that are coming in and merchandising and sponsorships, and like Adam Silver's done an excellent job as far as expanding the game. Now, this whole talk of turning it into like some Euro League soccer stuff where they doing the midseason tournament and all of that, I don't know about that, but everything else that he's done, I've been on board with it so far.
Well, the problem with the NFL dichotomy is this, though. Because actually NFL is the cash cow of all sports. NFL own the ratings, own the, the most money, because every franchise in NFL, you're talking, there's multiple billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like NBA squads are still a couple that's worth like $360 million.
Right.
But the thing is, the issue in the NFL is that they have rosters that fill almost out to about like 80 players to a roster. You know what I'm saying? So like,
talk about the practice squad guys
practice squad guys and all that. So it's like, not to mention the injury risk that's concerned with it, even though still in all, they got enough cash to really pay everybody out the way that they pay NBA players, because the quarterback's making NBA money now, $35 million a year.
And they be 90% of the money guaranteed now.
Come on, man. So yeah, right. They getting a lot of that front loaded. You see what I'm saying? So like, like Wentz deal was like 120 something million, but he got 107 guaranteed. Right. So it's like, the majority of it was guaranteed anyway. But it's like the difference, the main difference between both leagues is the unions.
Yeah.
NFL players unions stink. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like man, if I was a player, man, like, no, I can't even say what I was about to say. Never mind. But man, I would get something done to the dude, Damari Smith. You know what I'm saying? I can't even trust somebody named Damari.
Like, whose side are you on?
Whose side are you on, fam? You know what I mean?
They give up so many concessions in a league where the players' union should be so much stronger because there's so many more players.
Bam.
And then you have guys like Peyton Manning that were in the league forever. Guys like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, like multi-national stars, like stalwarts of the game. Like, this is the best quarterback era in the history of the NFL. And it's like, you got all these guys, and it's like, their presence in the union should be enough to get whatever y'all want done.
Yeah. Can we shake the table for a second?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So this is something I really truthfully feel in my heart of hearts. People may disagree as well, but that's fine too. I really feel like deep down inside that, the quarterback position, don't get me wrong, as important as it is in the NFL, because they touch the ball often and whatnot, and man, I can even dive deeper than that too, but I really feel like one of the reasons why the quarterback position is overvalued right now is because that's one of the rare positions in the NFL that's still dominated by white athletes.
Oh, absolutely.
See what I'm saying?
It's like the pitcher in baseball.
Come on. Which is why also, notice it, the quarterback becomes the face of the team. So like you were saying, your Peyton Mannings. Like, Peyton Manning's voice was just annoying in country, but yet he's getting all these sponsorships to talk on TV. Like, who really wants to hear him talk about nationwide and everything else? Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's fantastic, phenomenal quarterback, one of the greatest ever. But I'm just saying, like, the same way that, the black quarterbacks are always on a shorter leash. So when they come out of college, you know what I'm saying, they usually use as some gimmicky type of quarterback or they question stuff like, oh, can he read an NFL defense? Like,
they tried to pull that stunt with Kyler Murray, and he was far and away the best player in the draft. They still tried to play that game with him.
Come on, man. Did it with Lamar Jackson the year before. Talk about position changes and everything else.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, the one position where it is okay in the NFL to literally just get paid only because, it's a QB. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Mike Glennon, Nick Foles, like all these guys literally get crazy. Mike Glennon got like 18 million, fam, and didn't even end up starting. But it just be like, hey, man, listen, this is what happens with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then they're always the most marketed player. So it's like when you see NFL players talking about or compare it to like somewhat like slavery, like where they really take your rights and they just do what they want to do to you, especially when it comes to, penalizing these players for various things. Like marijuana is the NFL's only league in sports right now that's still pressuring and pressing people about weed. Right. You see what I'm saying? And they give you a lifetime ban for some damn weed. You see what I'm saying? Brett Favre was like a pill junkie for like 10 years straight, and it was just cool, and it was a big deal, and he didn't even want to play in training camp. Like every year, he was contemplating retirement. He would do the same thing
every single year. I'm not coming to camp.
Every single year.
I'm drinking beers and popping perks. I'm not coming.
And shooting ducks on a farm that I own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, NFL has a lot of issues, and even with the whole national anthem mess and all that kind of stuff, they have a lot of stuff that they have to unpack and deal with. You know what I'm saying? And that may end up being the demise of that sport. You know what I'm saying? Between the injuries and also just how they really, really conduct themselves on so many levels, man. But yeah, so that's why like NBA, man, dudes are like, yo, I'd rather have my brain functioning properly, right? My money guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Be able to smoke my tree.
All you got to do is get to your second contract in the NBA, and you're set for life.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
You just got to get to the second contract.
Or just one and then play overseas and be a king in a different country. Like literally a king.
Stephon Marbury owns China.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they love him over there. You know what I'm saying?
He's like God in China.
He's got a statue.
Yo, listen, man.
He has an actual statue in China.
He is the man right now over there, man. You know, and shout out to him. You know, he changed his life around. You know, really start following his faith. But he went from the Vaseline eating incident to going over there, man, becoming like a cultural icon in China. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, he's absolutely right. You could play overseas, man, and be good for a long time. Definitely. You know what I mean? Baseball to move though.
Oh man,
baseball to move. I'm trying to get my youngest son into baseball now, man. Like, yo, it's probably a little too late for my older boys. You know what I mean? Once baseball, they start recruiting you a teen, so it's like it's a wrap. You ain't playing about
10 years of service by the time you're 15.
Come on, man. So yeah, I'm trying to shift my kids to baseball. You know what I mean? Because baseball is where it's at, man. These boys getting $400 million and all that now. Man. Yeah. Sheesh.
All right, so we got about 30 minutes left, Tate.
Yeah.
All right, so about 30 minutes. Just a couple other little small topics, and then we get into some questions. We both sit here with a bunch of Apple devices in front of us. Jony Ive, who is the head of design for Apple, has actually left the company to start his own design firm. They announced it this week. He's leaving the company after 30 years. He will form his own independent design group, Love From, which will have Apple as a client, but he will no longer be an Apple employee. Mark Newson, who also joined Apple's design team in 2014, is also leaving to go work with Jony Ive at his new firm. Upon the news, Apple took an $8 billion hit to their market cap after the announcement of him losing, which was the stock was down 0.87%, but their stock is worth so much.
Yeah,
that
$1 trillion company.
Yeah, basically you lose less than a percentage and you take an $8 billion hit in one day. So that was something interesting to see, and just the fact of how one person, one figure can be so impactful to a company's bottom line to the point where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go start my own design firm. I'm still working with y'all, but $8 billion hit.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. I mean, truth be speaking, though, man, if people have been paying attention to Apple and the market in itself, and to how they've been trending or trending downwards on certain things, the designer aspect of things really haven't been changing, and that's been a lot of people's issues. So I'm not really sure if it's a bad thing, that this guy's actually, that he's moving on to do his own thing. But the truth be told, I really believe, which is why Apple's been moving more towards the service-based stuff. You know what I mean? Going with the TV thing, going with their own streaming, feature, Apple Music, but also streaming movies and all that
content. Now.
Yeah, they developing content and stuff now, and they also focusing on the health gear, like really talking about the health stuff with the watches and everything else. Yeah. So like they're really moving towards that, and was talking about potentially purchasing Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Because I really believe that they're at a place, and I believe Samsung is, and a lot of these other phone developers, that there's not much more that you can do to change the design of a phone, fam. You know what I mean? Like you can tweak the camera, make a faster processor, but it's like at the end of the day, you taking off on one of the phones, you're taking off the fingerprint option. The other one's facial recognition. But it's like you can only do but so much, fam. You know what I mean?
We've reached the mountaintop.
For sure. For sure. Unless we get the hologram that come up. You know what I'm saying? Like
and I mean, the thing about it is, it's like the world has moved into and it's been going on for 10 years now, but it's really like at a head now. Service-based industries are more important than ever.
For sure.
Because nobody wants to do the fucking work. So if you're in a service-based industry and you're actually good at it and you are dedicated to fulfilling whatever that service is, you're going to make a boatload of money because nobody wants to do the work.
No doubt.
And then on the other hand, content creation and content ownership is super important because once you create a piece of content, if it's successful and it works, you can always just re-upload it again. Like we see Vlad all the time where it's like, he might be ahead of the curve on something in terms of like an interview or something that's not prevalent, but then somebody and get arrested.
There we go.
2 years down the line, and then he
time to drop it.
It's time to flashback. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because he owns that content. So it's like, yo, you can monetize a piece of content limitless amounts of times if you capture and own the right content. So it's like it's smart of somebody like Apple that has billions and trillions of dollars in cash
for sure.
to be looking to buy a content company. Like it fits into their ethos as a business.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I read something where they said Apple could literally buy every NFL franchise or almost every franchise between the NFL and the NBA and literally still have a ton of money left over. That's
crazy.
That's ridiculous. And I mean, I think that they're really at that point right now where it's like, yo, how much more can we do different to an iPad? You know, or what else are we supposed to do to a MacBook? You know what I'm saying?
You look at it like they bought Beats, was that 5 or 6 years ago? Beats Audio. They don't even market it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, remember you used to see all the marketing commercials and all that stuff for Beats when they were an upstart with LeBron and Richard Sherman and Colin Kaepernick. You don't even see Beats commercials no more. It's not a thing no more because it is what it is. It's a $1 billion a year company. They're going to do it regardless. It ain't no point in dropping all this marketing dime into the company when it's going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah. Apple's next move, they just need to make a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like real talk. Like, y'all done did every darn thing. I was like, it's a wrap for that. But you absolutely right, Chad, with the content thing. And I really feel like, you know, with that being said, man, none of us, man, should have excuses for being broke, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
too many
ways to make money, man. And like you said, people don't want to do the work, which is why we see a lot of motivational speakers out here. And it's it's tragic that we have so many motivational speakers.
Let's speak on that for a minute.
I mean, listen, some folk gonna be like, "Oh, he hating," but it's like, no, they don't.
It's a hustle because a lot of these people, like, they aren't really out here doing the work or really doing much of anything other than just talking.
Capitalizing off the people. But like you said,
they're capitalizing off of hope and despair.
And bro, people don't, like you said, but people don't want to do the work. So you know what motivational speakers do? The vast majority, right? If anybody are really, really real readers, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the life hack on a lot of these motivational speakers. They all read the same like 15 to 20 books and they're regurgitating the same information to the people. You know what I'm saying? Not new information at all. And they're literally sitting there, they're just trying to spell it out to you differently. And then they'll go ahead and act like it's theirs instead of just really quoting where they heard it from.
And what they do is they use extreme examples to tie into whatever that initial point is.
All the time. But then see, and people don't realize, right, that the hope in which they sell you is based upon the things that they'll flaunt before you, based upon the fact that they've made that money off of you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to do, like, you know what I mean, OGs in this thing. You had, like, a Les Brown that'd be like, yo, yeah, I just, you know, bought a jet and, you know, let me tell you how you can do this and be the best that you can be or whatever. And he's telling you to do everything else except what he's doing.
Right.
And he has the jet because you fools paid $3
like,
grand
no,
to watch to watch him. You fools paid $3 grand and listen to him speak. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So you'll never get the jet like him. You won't. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the craziest thing about it. And like you said, people don't want to do the work. So like people read books and they drop little nuggets and little tidbits and they create online content. You know what I'm saying? Create a master class
to keep you coming back.
And fools read 3 books and now they got a master class. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm not knocking those.
And the concept of mastery alone is you got to put 10,000 hours into something to even be considered a master.
Or an expert, right?
That's directly from Robert Greene and that any business person to tell you that.
Yep.
So it's just like, It's like the how can I explain? It's almost like like they got like bait on a reel and they just trying to reel you in with like the least amount of bait and tackle we could put on here is what we going to use to reel you in and keep you coming back.
Well, and you know what makes it easier for folks now? stuff like these phones and tablets and everything else.
Yeah, you can shoot 4K. You turn this joint sideways.
There you go.
Can shoot 4K video.
Bro, the apps to make it easy for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I watch people that put the words across the screen, right? And they'll say something so stupid and basic, but like the words are coming across the screen, and then they got the music in the background. They may do a little holler, and the next thing you know, I'm watching 10,000 fools reshare it and be like, "Oh my goodness, this was heavy.
This was powerful."
Yo, and I'm just like, yo, wait, I'm waiting for the rest. Where's that? I'm looking like, yo, what did he say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does this mean?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? But again,
you got to cross the highway to get across the street. You be like, wait, did I miss? You got to cross the highway to get across the street.
You can't get to the bag if you don't get out of bed. And you just be like, oh, all right.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yo, that's heavy. No, who stays in the bed all day, every week? Like, just all
People
day,
who have time to watch these motivational. That's that too.
Yo, man.
And the thing is, right, what frustrates me about just humans in general, right? We're in the information age. There's so much information out here. There's so much DIY content. And there was something I came across a couple weeks ago. There was an MBA course, a free MBA course on Amazon. You could download and get this MBA course. It was like 30-something hours of like, what is like an abridged version of what they teach you in a 2-year MBA. And it was on Amazon. It's like, yo, if I can find this information and I'm ripping and running, doing what I'm doing 1,000 things a day.
Bam.
Y'all can also. It's so much do-it-yourself content on YouTube. Like, I know people, like my old neighbor when I lived in this old building, my old neighbor, I would always see him working on his car. He had like a 04, 05 BMW 745, and I would always see him working on his car. And he'd be changing the headlight or changing the air filter. This and that. Like, man, I learned how to do this on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like people who want the knowledge are able to find it.
Access it.
My homie, my man Blackbeard from Maryland, he was rehabbing. He had to rehab this house or whatever. He got this crib or whatever. He had to rehab this house. He hired a guy to do the hardwood floors, and he said, "All right, well, what's your rate to do the floors?" He's like, he gave him this whole number. He's like, "No, not what. I'm gonna buy the flooring, and I'm gonna be your apprentice. Like, I'm gonna work with you on this. Whatever you need me to do, I'm gonna be your student." For however many days it takes to get these floors done, and you're gonna show me everything. So he ended up paying the guy like $4,000 or something like that, buying all the material, and he was the guy's apprentice. So now after that, he knows how to do his own hardwood flooring because he put the time in to be an apprentice for 2 weeks and learn.
My man paid for his stuff to get done, and he got trade school at the same time. Brilliant.
So those who want the knowledge and the information are able to find it in a various number of creative methods and ways.
That's amazing.
And it's like, you just can't be lazy. Like, you gotta like take the first step to go out here and do what needs to be done in order to get where you're trying to go.
That's real, man. We definitely in a no excuse day and age, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely in a no excuse day and age, man. Gotta have those multiple streams, and it's too easy to create different streams, you know what I'm saying, and do different things. And like, you know, the brothers from Dope Shows was on here talking about it, and you know, like, yo, you can literally create your niche, carve your niche out, man, and pursue it. You know what I'm saying? Too many people trying to take shortcuts, and that's why
that's the biggest
people
issue.
capitalize. You know, people capitalize off of those that's trying to take the shortcuts. Yeah. So they sell you on stuff like, let me tell you how you can do. First and foremost, I don't know what you purpose to do in life. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what your gift is.
Skill set is.
Yeah, I don't know what your gift is. So how the hell can I tell you, you know, like, let me tell you how you can go ahead and do this? Because
I don't know that, because what's your temperament like? How do you handle adversity?
What's your work ethic like?
Yeah, what's your work ethic like? What do you do when things don't go your way?
Come on. But folks buy it and eat it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but they, you know, apparently they tell us that the church is selling false hope, man. But they buying into false hope everywhere else. Y'all. It's crazy.
Yeah, they buying it on the street corner. They ain't even getting no faith with it.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Ain't getting no faith with it, man. It's just, that's crazy. Man, you just gambling, man, and then still got to pray over your gamble. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's wild, man. That's wild, man.
Somebody I know, they was call themselves, oh yeah, this girl I know, whatever. She called herself, like, yeah, she having some financial problems, whatever. She like, all right, so her answer was, I'm gonna go gamble. I'm gonna start betting the sports tickets or whatever. And I'm like, yo, this is not a good idea. Like, I'm straight like, yo, this is a horrible idea. Like, please don't do this. Sure enough, she bet like 3-4 tickets, lose every ticket. Then she's sad about the money she lost. I said, yo, It's called gambling for a reason. Like,
But she went. But the another problem was she went and watched Stephen A. Smith talk about who was going to win, and then took his picks.
Didn't
You know what I'm
even
saying?
go to, like, a betting
I'm gonna watch
expert.
I'm gonna watch the experts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
so now you $300-400 behind where you already was. If you, I'm like, this was a horrible idea. Like,
So now she ready bartend with a butt out.
it'd be crazy. It'd be little situations like that where people just you
No,
know,
no knock to y'all either, y'all, to do that, because I don't want no flack.
No
please.
flack- no flack from the bartender
Yeah, I don't want
community.
I don't want no flack from the bartender community. Get it how you live. You know what I'm saying?
Well, crazy enough, I think that in the majority of the clubs, at least locally, have realized it's like these pretty girls gonna come in here and steal. Like,
Still.
they gonna come in here and steal. They gonna keep 60% of the money and give me 40%. I probably need to hire some more trustworthy employees. I went in this one bar up the Northeast the other day. They had my aunt behind the bar Saturday prime time. I'm like, yo, this is when you supposed to have your bad little chicks in here.
Yeah.
They got my aunt behind the joint.
They said no. They need their money.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
they got
Yeah.
bar maids, not
There we go.
bartenders. They had the bar maids in that joint.
Yo,
They
man.
need their bread.
But she probably made the drinks the best too, though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's usually the case.
old heads like, no, I'm gonna give you something good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna whip something up,
Yeah,
make
it's
a whole
gonna, it's
other
gonna be
drink.
some actual alcohol in it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right, so just to wrap this up, we got a couple questions, man, in the email. Somebody to the NBA point, if you swap Kawhi for a healthy KD, do the Raptors have the same type of season they had? Simply stated, no.
Yeah, no.
No. They probably would have won 5 or 6 more games because KD don't really miss games. So they probably would have, instead of, what they win, 60 games?
Almost, yeah. About they won
59, I think. So I give them a 7 victory swing. So maybe they win 65 or 66 games regular season.
Man.
Because Kawhi missed 20 games for load management.
Right.
He was first team all load management on
No,
top
you're
of
right.
everything else he did.
Definitely right.
So they might have won 6 or 7 more games, but they affect the game in 2 totally different manners.
Yeah.
Kawhi affects the game first and foremost from an intensity standpoint. Secondly, from a defensive standpoint,
defensive
and
standpoint,
then
yeah.
offense.
Yeah. So he definitely Kawhi definitely gonna get out there, and you just gonna look up and be like, yo, he really worked this for 27 tonight.
Right.
But he also made our star shoot 32% from the field today.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and KD definitely.
And KD's an excellent defender.
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
but he ain't Kawhi.
Yeah, he ain't Kawhi. Right. That physicality, he can't. match
Kawhi
that
literally
nothing.
took away Giannis's ability to get to the basket for 3 games straight.
That's a good point, man. Really,
Like
really
the MVP of the league, he just stopped it. Like an unstoppable force that was running downhill, dunking on people all season.
Yeah.
He couldn't get to the basket.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
So it's like,
No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. No, I agree with you. I
so,
definitely agree with you.
you know, in the beginning of the playoffs, Max Kellerman, I got to give Max Kellerman his props. He frustrates me at times, but he was on the Kawhi bandwagon early. Kawhi is the best player in the league. Kawhi is the best player in the league. No LeBron in the playoffs. Kawhi, he was on it early and often. And he's like, he affects the game equally from an offensive standpoint as KD. He's like, maybe if it's a little bit of a drop off, but his defense is so much better that your plus minus and your return on investment is greater with Kawhi, because even on a bad will, he's still one of the 3 best players in the league.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I would have thought Max was smoking dope, talking about maybe just a little off from like offensively with KD. But then Kawhi start giving you
unlocked
40.
his game.
He start giving you 43 and 44 on
like-
60%
Yeah,
shooting.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like yo, like I know Kawhi was vicious and could get you to 28 and 32, but he was dropping 40s on people and playing both ends.
He
Playing
had no
both
he
ends.
had, he has no ceiling to his game, and it's like I'm interested to see how much more his game gets unlocked if he gets to be the primary offensive option with LeBron passing him the ball.
Setting him up for better shots and everything else.
He's never going to get double teamed.
Yeah.
He was-
And he had to work for them baskets too. He had to work for
He had
them
to
baskets.
earn them
man.
baskets, but
Yeah.
he's never out of position to make a good shot.
That's a real good point. Yeah, man. They definitely.
It's like the Steph point where it's like Steph don't square his shoulders. He don't be having the right vision. He looking away, like shit like that. Kawhi, if you go back and view all his games where he was killing the playoffs, he was never out of position
Laser focus.
to get the shot off at the highest point or at the right point.
Yeah, and I say this though, that's a testament to Popovich too, because Popovich coached that way.
Yeah.
Like yo, he'll coach the Spurs. Yo, no, you play to get the best shot off. You know what I mean? Like, so you really rarely seen Kawhi playing out of control, you know, and he had those guys like Danny Green and stuff around him that also kind of knew that system and knew how to play that way. So that, like you said, yeah, that's another bonus and added benefit, like of him going to the Raptors and just knowing how to play that style of ball to where you got your man Van Fleet and all them going off. And it's just like, KD probably don't pull that out of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
They probably all would be KD dependent and wouldn't know how to get off without him.
It's a lot of, even with the Warriors, it was a lot of standing and watching when KD would get the cooking, and it's just like, all right, what are we doing?
Clay, it's your turn now. Go ahead. You got the next 15 shots. Steph, okay, it's your quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's really how they would play. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree with you.
But Kawhi just picked his spots in such a way. It's like you can't do nothing but respect that dude. Yeah. Like he went out there and took the championship.
Yes, he did.
Took it.
Yes, he did.
All right, so I would say Kawhi is a little bit better. Like if
I give him that.
If KD's a 96, Kawhi's a 98.
Yeah, it's picking hairs.
Yeah, it's close. Like you can't.
Yeah, you're set either way.
You're set either way, but one of these guys is a juggernaut on defense as well as offense.
Yeah. I agree with that.
All right, so somebody sent me another question. It's a special edition of Ask Chad with Pastor Carl. My question for the show is, why do you think Philadelphians are so obsessed with fighting in the streets? I've lived in other places, and it's definitely not normal.
Lord. You want to answer that first, man?
All right.
I mean, because because to be fair, man, you know,
I'm out here.
You're around the barbarians.
I'm around the muck and grind.
Yeah. You're around the barbarians a lot more.
All right, so to answer this question, there's really no real rhyme or reason. It's like, for whatever reason, like, Philly people deem it appropriate to like show up at like people's houses and like places of like work and like their place of worship and will fight you. And
don't show up to mine. That ain't safe. That ain't safe. You show up to mine.
Totally not disclaimer.
Man, disclaimer. That's really not.
Oh, I forgot. I got the real nigga of the week.
Oh yeah.
What was the name of that podcast? They gave you the real nigga of the week?
Random Acts of Podcast.
Random Acts of Podcast. Pastor Carl was the real nigga of the week for last week. He had a tweet that went viral. That he didn't know it went viral, but the right people saw it, and they gave him real nigga of the week.
It was in response to somebody saying that, man, they should start robbing pastors, and I just was saying, you know, look, I implore that people do their homework on certain pastors first, you know what I mean? Because, like, that ain't safe, you know what I mean, with certain people, you know, and I just kindly stated, you know, I would do the eulogy for free, you know what I mean?
Like the eulogy is on me.
Yeah, it's on the house, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you put a gun to me. And you know, I left a certain space and place of life a while back, but it's like, you know, especially with me just having a daughter, man. You know, last month, May 25th, shout out to my baby girl.
Shout out to baby girl.
Yeah, man, Cali summer day. So, but like, you know, with that being said, like, yeah, man, like everything's like heightened now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if I'm out, if I'm out somewhere, yo, I'm just letting it be known. I love everybody, I really do. But if I'm out, like my daughter out with me too, it's like you gotta like be easy when you greet me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say what's up, but you know, just be easy, because you know I'm about to be like super duper overprotective. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna move like Secret Service. But you know, but nah, seriously, on the serious side though, yeah, it just ain't safe to play with people, man. But Philadelphia, anyway, on the flip side,
yo, it was a situation where a couple months ago, it might have been last summer. These incidents run together when they just are so retarded. These incidents run together, but a girl went to this girl's house to fight her, and the girl wouldn't come out, so she broke the windows of the house. Like, broke the house windows and broke the car windows too. Like, you won't come outside because I'm gonna break all the windows at your mom's house, and I'm gonna break the windows out of the car.
I'm gonna force you to come on out.
I'm gonna force you to come on out. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you had to do something. And it's like, yo, and the sad part about it is, it's majority the girls in Philly that's the ones fighting in the street. I see more viral videos that I can catalog in my head of women in Philadelphia. The Lancaster Ave fight. I know you saw that. I know you remember that day on Twitter when them girls was all campaigning to meet up on Lancaster Ave and met up on Lancaster Ave and rumbled in front of the beer distributor. It's like the backdrop to y'all nonsense be through the roof.
The beer distributor too, man. Like go in there, man. Get your mango Rita and just
your
go
Four
get
Loko
your
and go
Four
have a
Loko.
nice day.
Just having it. Yo, man. My thing is this though. Like so with that being said, Chad, right? You said the majority of the women. So why is the narrative that the men so trash in Philadelphia then?
I don't know. That's like a reverse psychology, Joe.
Easy scapegoat.
Deflection.
That's deflection.
Oh, at its
I
finest.
could pull up 10 videos right now. Right now.
Well, I guess to their defense, they would say this, man. At least they're fighting, man, and not shooting each other.
Well, that's true because, with these young black men, they first thing they do is get the guns.
Oh, man, and we need to stop that. But on the real, I would say this, man, like, man, can we please start to gather, some sense and really realize that, like, yo, like, you got your girlfriends that got you on live, and you're committing a crime,
Yes.
like busting windows out and, busting somebody upside their head, like that you're committing a crime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
And certain crimes don't need an accuser. Like, this is just the evidence.
Oh, no, that don't.
It's going to be the state of Pennsylvania versus you.
And I need people to understand, like, so some of the work that I do in community, like with participatory defense, every week, every Tuesday night, like we have a hub in which we take on clients who fight the justice system. You'd be surprised how many cases where literally like back judges are sending dudes to jail over the social media. People are literally finding things out via social media.
Yeah.
Yo, the police use social media, y'all.
Extensively.
If they're suspending officers for improper use of social media,
Right.
what makes you think they're not watching
Yeah, when they suspend like
the
72
animals?
officers or something like that.
Yeah. So what makes you think they're not watching the animals?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, we gotta be smarter, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I say that term because like that's what we're acting like. When animals don't have reason. They don't have the ability to reason like humans. So when we act like we don't have ability to reason, we act like
we don't
animals.
have good sense.
Yeah, there we go. So it's like, yo, we gotta be mindful. And I just don't understand that either. But I just need a lot of these women and these men to think like, yo, a lot of us have children out here too. So like, dog, like you got a job you gotta go back to. You know what I'm saying? So like, not to mention you pulling up to somebody. Please do remember that there's guns all over the city, and everybody else got razor blades, hammers, and all the stuff that you bring in.
Shanks, ice picks.
All of that too. You know what I'm saying? So like, yo, you are literally putting yourself at risk for the Lord knows what. Whether it's over a guy, whether it's over a social media argument, or whatever the case may be. Like, dog, don't throw your life away for trash. Yeah, please don't. Come on, man. Like, come on, we got to be smarter than this, yo. Like, so yeah, man, I don't get it either, man. That's a good question though, man.
It's a tough one, man, because it's like every day. If I log on Twitter right now, I'm sure I could find somebody randomly rumbling. There was this one girl one day, and she was like a little small chick. I seen her fight about 7 people. She was on some little side block of Frankfurt. She was rumbling everybody. People that didn't even want to fight. She was punching on them. I'm like, yo, this is bad, man. Like, y'all got to stop this. It's a beautiful day outside, too. It's like a Thursday. She just out here beating everybody up.
On the nicest days, man.
That's usually when it goes down.
But it is something that's terribly wrong with the culture in Philly. And the sad thing is, right, you get a lot of people who try to say, oh, it's like that everywhere. And it'd be a lot of people that don't go everywhere. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like, yo, no, like I've really visited other cities and do work in other cities and sat with people. And like, their issues that they talk about, be vastly different on a lot of different levels. You know what I'm saying? Like other areas may have gang activity. There's no gangs. Y'all not even gangs, and y'all really not beefing over nothing. Right? Y'all just acting a fool, man. It's crazy, man.
Y'all beefing over blocks where your mom been renting a house for 17 years.
Man, beefing without no money. Like it just
beefing indiscriminately for nothing and nobody, and then y'all be back friends in 4 days.
Yeah, man. And a lot of these fights happen too, man. I'm gonna say this too, that too many folks just kind of rashly and overly invest themselves in the people that they're meeting off the internet, and without really fully assessing who people are.
Absolutely.
And then they get upset when they find out that these people are like idiots. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, you've also overly invested yourself, which is why you're so upset. And then y'all have these falling outs. And then, like you said, people are going back and being cool. It's just a lot. It's really a lot to unpack, man. And like people have this false sense of pride that they feel like they have to hold up against to strangers on the internet. So like, let me get on camera, incriminate myself because I got to prove something to the 3,500 out of the 3,900 or 3,700 that I really don't even know. Right. You know what I'm saying? To carry out this persona that I'm really not. Like,
All right, I got one last question. It's from my man Black. Shout out Black. I don't know your social media, but yeah, shout out to you. He's a supporter
Black?
of the show. He just joined Culture Change Christian.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Corey, man. Coming to church, man. Yeah.
Corey said there's a question. He said, in your opinion, what are the pros and cons of dating in 2019? Pastor's married, so I guess I'm going to have to take this one, unless you have an interesting take on this.
I mean, I'll follow up, man. Go ahead.
All right, so the pros and cons. The number one con is that everybody is either hurt or fake hurt. And because of that, it leads to where you don't know if you're having an honest exchange of building with somebody or not. Like, you don't know if it's a genuine exchange of experience or if people are gathering intel to use it against you and finesse you later.
Got you.
That's probably the biggest con to dating right now is the lack of genuine, honest interactions amongst people. And there's a big gender war going on right now. We see it on social media all the time. The men are blaming the women are blaming the men. The women saying the men ain't got no money. The men are saying the women are trying to use them for their money. It's like a whole daily war that's going on, at least on my social media. And I know you see some of it spill over into yours. And
That's every day, man.
Yeah, it's a constant everyday thing where you seeing that. The pro of dating right now is that if you're just dating, there's an easier access to people. Like, you can meet and find interesting people anywhere. Like, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Black Planet, Bumble.
That's still around? Black Planet still around?
They relaunched it recently. They relaunched it. Bumble.
Bring back MySpace.
Tinder, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can find, there's like something that my man Bonnick told me. He said that there's dope stuff happening everywhere. You just may not be aware of it because you ain't there. So just by that same token, there's dope people all over the world. Australia, Europe, California, Texas. It's dope people everywhere. So you may find that one or two rare dope person that's out there that you connect with, and y'all have, stimulating conversation and and it may turn into something. It may open your mind to wherever they are to say, damn, that's going on over there. Maybe I need to leave where I'm at and go over there. So the access to people that are from all over the world can potentially open up a different world and a different way of thinking. So those are like my top pro and my top cons of dating right now. But overall, if you got somebody that you like, love, care about, hold on to them, because this shit is garbage.
Yeah. Yo, real talk, man. Or you can find like 5 or 6 dope people that you want to date if you like love. You know what I'm saying? If you love, like, you have like 5 or 6 that you could date and all that, man. Shout out to love, man. I just had to throw a jab at my brother. but yo, on the real though, I really think the biggest problem, right? Because I think the pros that you said, Chaz, is very, very relative, very, very, very relevant. But I would say this, man, the biggest problem, man, for me, because I come across a lot of people who date, you know what I'm saying, and seek my advice on things, for obvious reasons. But the biggest problem right now with the dating pool is that people are really dating without no clear intentions or person or purpose behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say that, I'm not saying you got to initially, start to entertain or talk to a person clearly just thinking with marriage in mind. Right. But a lot of times, folks don't even think friendship. Right. I'm gonna be real. I think friendship should be the first intention behind dating. Like, yo, let me try to build a friendship, because see, a lot of people just seek this dating situation and they want to they want to think, hey, maybe I can get some good meals out of this situation, or what kind of money can I seek from a person? Maybe they help me with some bills. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different.
What kind of distress story can I give them?
There we go. And men may just be thinking about the sexual aspect and everything else, and then we wonder why we be like, yo, we only been talking for 2 months and we going at each other like we together. Well, y'all failed to even really build a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's trying to turn it from 0 to 60 way too fast now, because people been hurt, because people feel like, I don't know, certain milestones are coming up. I'm 30, I ain't married yet. I'm 35, I ain't got no family yet. You know what I'm saying?
My birthday coming up, I'm trying to go to Cabo.
So like with that, everybody has their own agenda, and the biggest agenda should be like, yo, listen, we can go out, we can chill, we can kick it, but yo, let's build a real friendship first. You know what I mean? And that way, we're not really overly investing ourselves emotionally into this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm really just getting to know you. Like, what we gonna do when we date? Let's take our time and really understand who each other are. Because at some point, we might mess around and realize that, yo, maybe we should just kind of be friends, and we can be okay with being friends, because we just like, yo, you really can't be a girlfriend to me, and maybe I ain't boyfriend material for you. You follow what I'm saying? But like, nobody even cares about being friends no more. It's like, again, everybody got their own agenda. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody might even be dealing with you because they still hurt and trying to prove to somebody else they ain't hurt no more. Right. So now it's like,
using you as a bridge to get over their last
Come
situation.
on. You know what I mean? And then that don't even work. So it's like, I think, man, that everybody need to, if you're going to date people, man, like really start doing it with the intentionality of saying like, yo, listen, man, I'm trying to build a friendship first. Because even as it trickles into marriage, and I think that's like one of the greatest aspects of my marriage with my wife, like, yo, man, my wife is like my homie. Like, me and my wife really talk about everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if Drea drop a new picture, I can be like, yo, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't even know why I said that for y'all. But listen, but nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Me and my wife discuss everything though. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing be off the table when we talk. So it's just like, you know, because we really homies. And she might actually be the one to tell me like, oh yeah, like she keep me hip to stuff. Because I'll be like, yo, who this on my Explore page? Oh, that's what's the name, baby mom. You know what I'm saying? And you know, she like, yeah, she nice looking and stuff like that. Or she'll keep me updated or afloat with what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So like when Chad be promoting some of these rappers, I'm like, yo, who is this? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, it's just like, I really believe that like as you go into and venture into like boyfriend, girlfriend status, claim, whatever titles y'all may start to hold to each other, the key that's gonna keep all of that, man, is friendship. You know what I'm saying? Because like, yo, after you know, if you're gonna jump the gun and you're gonna have sex before you marry and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm not advocating that, but I'm just saying like, if that's the case, at some point that's gonna become old too to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta be able to have a solid friendship with the person that you really trying to rock out with. So
I just think people don't even be like knowing who they're dating. Like people be dating people for 6, 7, 8 months, 2 years, and don't know nothing about them. Like don't really know like they don't know like, oh yeah, I killed somebody back in like 1999. Yeah. Like they don't be like, I be like, yo, what type of questions do y'all be asking?
But dig it, bro, and then go back to the friendship aspect. So it's like you meet a lot of different, and I ain't even talking from a dating perspective, okay? Yeah, people. You meet a lot of people in general. So let's just say you see a couple people frequenting out to a lot of events you at. Y'all connect and y'all just vibe. You still, right? Because of the premise of friendship, you pay attention to a brother. You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, let me figure out a little bit more about him and all that. I ain't ready to tell him like, yo, let's do business together.
Yeah,
you know
I need to know if I can be around you because I need to know if it's bullets flying, if they for you or for me. I need to know what's going on.
All of that. And it's like, we don't even do that with well, not we, I'm married, but we as a people, we don't do that. I gotta be clear.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. Yo, but listen, but like we don't do that as a people. Like, yo, it's just instantly, yo, I'm attracted. Boom. Let's go ahead. Let's get on the fast track. Now take me out somewhere nice because Twitter rules say you have to do this. You know what I'm saying? And then also my rules is maybe you got 30 days before you bust a move for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like we ain't really getting to know each other at all because we're not seeking to really, I'm not even looking at you to be my friend. Like, and again, people that we really call friends, fam, you know, we don't even call each other friends. We call each other family because we really got 15 plus years. But it's like, yo, we really, man, even longer than that because we getting old. Because we getting old. Like, you know what I'm saying? We getting teens. You know what I'm saying? So, man. But anyway, with that being said, before we call somebody my homie, it's like, no, fam, I really got to know you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do my homework. Like, from a street perspective, I got to find out if you a rat. I got to find out.
I need to know if you got a good name. I got to know if you burnt 4 niggas out of 500. Like, I got to know what's going on with you. I got to know if you told 4 chicks that you was going to flip their income tax and never brought their bread back. Like, I need to know what's going on with you because as soon as I throw a picture up with you talking about, oh, my dog, my bro, XYZ, somebody's going to, the truth always comes to the light. Always. Somebody going to DM me and be like, why are you with this lame? What you talking about? No, he says, you don't know that he XY.
Yeah.
Now I gotta
come on.
I gotta wear the burden of what you got going on.
Come on.
Because I'm standing next to you.
Yeah.
So it's like the importance of doing the right type of homework on people has really been devalued and diminished in the recent era because people are just going into situations with expectations and intentions to get what they trying to get. So they don't be knowing the person that they actually dealing with. They just trying to figure out a trigger on how to get what they want out of it.
Bro, because you know why? People expect age to reflect maturity. So that's why they look at you and they say, oh, you 34, you 35? Oh, all right, yeah, you know better now. Press 30 seconds, you a husband.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I know you have to know, or I know you've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Or I know who you are, so I know you should know better.
Maybe I didn't been through a lot. Maybe I'm 32 and I was in a relationship since I was 15. And she died tragically or left me or whatever.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Like, who's to say that I have all this experience? I might not.
There you go.
You got to ask the right type of questions.
Get to know people, man. And again, when you really start building with a person as a friend, you're not as emotionally invested, so you don't play yourself. You see what I'm saying? Worst case scenario. All right, yo, we had dinner a couple times, went to Starbucks, and we really started having conversations and just realized, yo, this wasn't it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I done friend zone plenty of chicks. Plenty of them. They be like, did you friend zone me? Yes, absolutely.
You a cool person.
You a cool person. I like you. We can hang all that, but yeah, no, this ain't. We don't match up in enough areas to deal with one another.
Absolutely.
And I'm not gonna sacrifice what I want out of a dating situation or a relationship situation just for the sake of, oh, you look good or whatever. I don't care. I don't care about that. Like, do we match up? How many boxes do you check on whatever my list is?
Well, cause fam, listen, people have to think down the line. You start trying to build marriage and start talking family, that stuff means something. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, are you suitable? You know what I'm saying? For me to really build.
What's your temperament like? If I tell you no, I can't do something right now, are you gonna set my car on fire? You know what I'm saying? Like these.
Or subtweet me all day.
Yeah, like I need to know these type of things. Subtweet me, but putting my name in it or my initial. And you know who I'm talking to. See, dot. All that nonsense.
Crazy out here, man.
So yeah, the put a bow on this. Really get to know people. Investigate who you dealing with and who you think you want to be dating. Be friends first.
Yeah.
Be okay with things not going your way. That's another thing. Everybody want everything to go their way.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, no, the first, that's just life, period. Things
life.
not always going to go your way.
Yeah.
Dating, work, whatever.
That's
it's
real
not
rap.
always going to go the way you want it
That's
to go.
real rap, bro. We got to do a dating episode, man. A sensible one, because, you know, a lot of people y'all had on that one job.
Oh, man, listen. That dating episode was
Yo.
wild.
Shorty voice was deeper than ours.
She was trying to get with Matt on the
Oh, my
She was
goodness.
trying to holler at Matt big time.
I saw that too.
Oh, my God.
She was trying
Yo,
to
I
holler
don't
at
know
Matt
what I
big
would have
time.
did, man, on that episode, cuz. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that joke was a little strange. We're going to get some more suitable, credible people up there
man.
for the next dating episode.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
people with careers and stuff like that. People that don't sell feet pics. We're going to get regular, upstanding human beings on the next dating episode.
Hey, yeah, man. Definitely got to relaunch that joint, man.
For sure. So we're going to have that coming up soon. Next week, Dope Fest, Saturday, July 6th, live from the Mann Center, Fairmount Park, West Philly, 5200. Was it 5201 Parkside Avenue in West Philly? Dope Fest at the Sky Stage. Doors open at 11 a.m. It's going to run till about 10 p.m. PNB Rock is headlining. They said Dirk is going to be there. If Dirk don't show up, it ain't on Dope Shows. Don't blame Dope Shows. If Dirk don't show up, he got his own set of problems. His team said he going to be there, and they not worried about it, and they trying to book an after party. Young Dolph, Pusha T, Cowboy, the Baby, Roddy Rich. I forgot about Roddy Rich. How I forget about Roddy Rich? Roddy Rich, Rocky, Fake Bitches Hero from Philly, Sim Santana got the hottest record in the city, Flexing and Flashing, Kill Switch, and the realest podcast ever. I'll be there. Hopefully, I'm not on at 11:45, Mayor. If I'm on 11:45, I'm gonna be a little late, bro.
Oh, yeah. You don't get up before 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Actually, the last couple weeks, I've been waking up at 9:30 every day. Changing my life. Last 2 weeks, waking up at 9:30. Today was not one of those days, though.
I want to talk about how Chad took 2 weeks to call me back on the
Yo, it
business
was so
idea.
bad. I'm apologize on the air. I'm sorry, bro. He was trying to put me on some money, and I called me back
man.
for 2 weeks.
I mean, we text every day, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we text every day, though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm horrible with phone calls.
Yeah.
I'm putrid with phone calls. I'll text somebody back. Yeah, what's up? Right at the same time. Like, pick the phone up. Oh, my bad. Heart. Hold on. I'm going to call you back.
Yeah.
I be having too much going on sometimes, needless to say.
I mean, I can understand it. Trust me.
having a
In my
lot-
line of work, I can understand having a lot going on,
We
man.
having a lot going on. Some good, some bad. I be having a lot going on. Anything
doubt.
you want to plug before you get out of here, bro?
Nah, man, just be on the lookout, man. We taking the streets back. That's what we doing, man. We changing the culture. You know, like I said, man, we got this program, Cast Off the Conquerors, going on. And we definitely trying to do what we can, man, to really help pour into these youth, but also the young men in the city too. I've been through a lot of what they've been through. And praise God, you know, I had the chance to really turn my life around. But now it's about laying my life down to try to make sure it's better for my sons. And it's certainly gonna be better for my daughter because she ain't gonna date till she's 30. But yeah,
That's a whole nother
yeah,
show.
that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. But yeah. So anyway, man, feel free to join us, man. We got Monday nights from 6:30 to 8:30. We got men's group. You know what I mean? Real group of men. You know, where brothers come through. We talk about everything, man. 6:30 to 8:30. So tomorrow, you know what I mean? So 2233 West Allegheny Avenue. We in North Philly. Church Sunday morning at 9 a.m. You know what I mean? Definitely at 9 a.m. So please be there. And Wednesday nights we have a women's group, man. Dope group of women, man. We got young folk coming through there, man. Church just growing, man. We doing a lot, man. We really take care of each other. We look out for each other. You don't believe me? You can ask around. And yeah, that's kind of it, man.
a beautiful thing, man. You really out here doing the work, man, in the community. If y'all see Pastor Carl, you can approach him respectfully, say what's up. Don't be on no rah-rah stuff. We got his daughter with him. Throw your hand up and keep it pushing.
Yeah, that's what if my daughter with me, man. Otherwise, man, listen, man, I show everybody that run into me know I show love. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, you know what I mean? So I was kind of joking, tongue-in-cheek with that, man, but yeah, seriously, man, like, yo, please, you see me, man, run up on me, speak, like, let's embrace each other. You know what I mean? Like, let's be bigger than what Philly representing right now.
I know that's right. Again, shout out to Dope Shows for coming through. Shout out my boy News Huddle. He just put out his project. It's called Trying to Beat the Odds. Make sure y'all go Apple Music, Tidal, all of that. Go ahead and get that project. You can purchase it on iTunes for a small $7.99. I'm gonna go ahead and cop that up today. That's my boy. Shout out to News representing West Philly. He live from the A right now. He been in the A for a couple of years. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man. TRPE is back, first time in 6 weeks, man. Excellent show. Thank you, brother Pastor Carl, for coming out and being my co-pilot for the day.
Always
helping me navigate through these murky podcast waters. Again, shout out to Dope Shows. We're gonna have a crazy show next Saturday, and then I will be back here next Sunday. What you got going on next Sunday? You coming back?
I'll come back.
Pastor Carl might be back next Sunday.
Back, listen, dog, this is my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing anything for him, man. That's my dog.
Hopefully,
you know what I mean?
Matt is off administrative leave. He'll come back and join us next Sunday. We're going to leave the door open. Matt, come back.
You gotta have poker cards and some fried chicken around. You know what I'm saying? Tell them poker and fried chicken.
Poker and fried chicken Sundays live from TRP.
And some diet Wawa lemonade. You know what I mean? Then he gonna come back around, man.
We out of here, man. TRP episode 89. We out of here.
Peace.